Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well, and more importantly, blue morning to you all. And I really do mean it when I ask, I hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to, round up some of the things we're hearing regarding the sale of Chelsea Football Club. Then we will go into what Chelsea Football Club must do to defeat Real Madrid and go through to the semi-final stage of the Champions League. So let's get into it. Yes, people, welcome back to another Blue Money Show. First of all, I want to say I believe in miracle, so never say never. And impossible is a nothing. So I still do believe that Chelsea Football Club can go to the Bernabeu and get a huge result, and then be sure that we'll be in the semi-final of the Champions League. And believe me, it is very possible. It is not just because I believe in miracle or because nothing is impossible. It is because you don't give up in life, and if you want to achieve life, you come across obstacles like that, and you only keep pushing if you want to overcome. And the fact is, I think we've done that before. I think it was in 2012, and we shall overcome. Believe me. And the first person in the chart is Himashu Rajpal. How you doing, Rajpal? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel, and please, if you haven't, be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and more importantly, do click on the bell notification button so that you will be notified whenever we go live or whenever we have a new video out. And please, if you're watching, let me know if you can hear my audio. We've been having some technical issues of late, but I think it's working, at least from the signal that I'm seeing from my end. First of all, let's go through some news update before we continue. Thomas Tuchel has confirmed that, already we know Chilwell, but Barkley, Lukaku, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's been not being fine, will not travel to Real Madrid, and I think Cesar Azpilicueta will be in that list too. But that's by the way. And in another news, we're learning from Simon Phillips that the consortium Ricketts Group, which tried that I never knew they tried to buy Chelsea in 2018, has incredible financial clout. Its aggregate capital is in excess of 50 billion. I think we already know that. And again, even the other group, the Volley Group has also added some billionaire to its group, and also has strengthened its own financial power. And for Nizar Kinsella, he says that new Stephen Pagluka is in the UK, is said to have attended Chelsea's 6-0 win over Southampton. He's been a meeting with various stakeholders around Chelsea, including meeting Paul Canoville. I think all the group at this point has met with Paul Canoville. Very much a four-horse race it's good to hear that it's a four-horse race because, of course, we Chelsea fans were all concerned that the Ricketts family were the front runners to become the new owners of Chelsea Football Club. And believe me, that at that point scared the heck out of me. But I'm glad you could say that is not the case at this point. Yeah, and please, wherever you're watching from, please be sure to share the stream. Invite anybody that you know will be interested in these topics to join us so that we can have a good conversation. And I see my brother declared. Soon I'll look at the chat again. We are talking about, yes, let me repeat this again. I believe in miracle. So I'm saying never say never. I'm saying impossible is nothing, because Chelsea can still beat Real Madrid and then go through to the next round of the Champions League. That is very much possible. and he say everything is good. Nice to hear, my brother Rajpal. Good to hear that you're doing well. Blue morning to you, TNM. I think this is your first time here, and if you haven't, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. TT has kept the team at Cobham until tomorrow, so we anticipate that he's planning something special for tomorrow. Yes, I know he's planning something special, and I know he wouldn't want to give away who is going to start, or he wouldn't want us to have glimpses of how he wants to approach the game, which is good. But if you ask me, I'd say I wouldn't change too much from the team that played against Southampton on I think on Saturday. I think that team, their performance they were brilliant in every department. If at all anything should be changed, it will be Reece James coming on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And if I were Thomas Tuchel, I wouldn't change that either. And again, I wanted to say a blue morning to my brother Declan. Nice to see you there. I know you're usually at work, but I'm going to share the link to the chart in a bit so that anybody that has the time and wants to join can join. Link to the panel. Okay, I'm going to get the link first and then add it to there so that whoever wants to join me on the panel to have the conversation or debate will do so. There you go. You have the link to the panel there, and I will pin it in case anybody that's there that has time will join the conversation. Yes, and then the first thing, and again, like I said, we're here to talk about what Chelsea Football Club must do to defeat Real Madrid in the second leg of the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. The first thing in the list is balance. Balance will be key. Yes, why did I say balance? Balance will be key because if we focus so much on one aspect of the game and forfeit the other, there is a serious risk. I think we missed the Werner runs in the first leg. Yep. I think. I'm not sure what you're saying. Missed the Werner's runs in the first leg. Maybe I understand later. But my point is that why is balance important? Balance is very important in the sense that if Chelsea Football Club concentrate on attack and forfeit defense, then it's a serious issue. But if we also it's vice versa. Also, if we concentrate on defending and forfeit attack, it is a risk also. So we must strike a balance between the two. We must attack until the man in the middle blows the final whistle. But more importantly, we must be sure that we're well protected defensively, and that starts from having 2 sixes of N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic, both of which are quicker than Jorginho and can also progress the ball quicker than Jorginho does. So we need both men in the midfield, and whenever they're both in the midfield, you can be rest assured that our defense will have proper protection. So that's why it's important. We must find a balance between defending and attacking Real Madrid. And that day, if we focus only on attacking Real Madrid, we will be vulnerable defensively. And if we focus on defending to ensure we don't concede early, then also we'll be vulnerable because they'll keep coming at us until they get a goal. And if they get a single goal, then we have more work to do to overcome the deficit in the first leg. Melissa Castello says, good morning. Blue morning to you, Melissa. We haven't seen you in a while. I hope you are good. I hope everything is fine with you. And if you're in the chat, the link to the panel is there. If you want to join me on the panel to talk to the people who are watching, I'd really appreciate that. If not, I understand. Allow me to sip my coffee so I don't lose my voice and so that I can work up properly. That is your campaign, and no problem. And again, like I said, we have to find a balance between attacking Real Madrid and defending and ensuring that they don't score against us. And I think that comes down to Thomas Tuchel's selection. If he selects too many attacking players, if he, for instance, if he selects too many attacking players without balancing the team to be defensively solid, and then we will have a difficult we will have a difficult night and probably may lose the game. So that's why I said balance will be key on that day. The second thing that Chelsea must do and do very well. I'm going to share the screen to see within. I think it was within the span of 20 minutes, so even less. We considered 3 goals against Real Madrid, and that shouldn't be happening. So let me try and share something that will show us how badly our concentration was that day. The same thing happened to us against Juventus away. We just at the start of the second half, we considered a goal within seconds, and that to me is lack of proper concentration. And I think that must be case, and that I think it's happened too often. It's become an issue that we have to start paying attention to it. Again, this comment here says TT has kept the team at Cobham until tomorrow. So we anticipate that he's planning something special. Yes, that shows really he's planning something special and wouldn't want the opposition or anybody or the media to get a glimpse of what he's planning or how he wants to approach the game. So I'm going to look at that game against Real Madrid to see how quickly we considered goals. And if you ask me, I'd say it was, lack of concentration. He scored in the 24th minute and then scored 21st minute and then scored in the 24th minute. That to me shouldn't happen. It was, I think you could argue, we're wearing 100%. That is the players where that I think you could say there were lapses in concentration in terms of the midfield stopping the attack. For instance, the second goal, nobody closed down Luka Modric. I think that shouldn't happen on tomorrow. We must be concentrated 100% plus in terms of when players are supposed to be closed down. We do that because Luka Modric is experienced enough. Even Toni Kroos is experienced enough that if you give him just 3 seconds, he will make a decisive decision in terms of finding the man in our box or in a very decisive area that will do some damage to us. So my point is we need to let's have 100% plus concentration to be able to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu on that day. And as you already know, it's going to be a different whole game because we have a full Real Madrid fans there singing and urging them on. And our team, you could argue, we have a relatively young team. I think the average age of the Chelsea team right now should be around 22, 23. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, but concentration will be key on Tuesday as we face Real Madrid at the Bernabeu Stadium. And please excuse me while I take a sip of my coffee. Again, let me touch, look at the chat and see if there's anything to read or address. This is Melissa saying, if Chelsea gets knocked out, do you think that this year is a failure for Chelsea? I think considering all factors such as the club's sale conundrum, the sanctions on the owner, Roman Abramovich, and the restrictions placed on the team, I think I wouldn't blame them at all because the fact is, the issue, the things that Chelsea, the situation that Chelsea Football Club are facing at this point, it's not just affecting the fans; it affects the players too. And just like Kai Havertz said, in a press conference, that they hear about them, but they tried to go about their way doing their job because they are professional. But believe me, mentally and otherwise, I think it will be affecting them But I think the situation has improved of late, given the fact that the performance we saw against Southampton, and given the fact that it's becoming clear that the sale process is progressing, and in fact has progressed to the final phase. The group that are responsible for the sale of the club to the new owners, are just waiting for the final bid, and then the government vetting process, and the Premier League vetting process also, and then we have a new owner. So yeah, I wouldn't say it will be a failure, because we must take into account that things were not all rosy at this point as they are right now at Chelsea Football Club. So yeah, I would not say it's a failure. So back to talking about what the Chelsea Football Club must do to defeat Real Madrid in the second leg of the quarterfinal match at the Bernabeu. I think it's important that Thomas Tuchel he doesn't change the lineup too much. I think the players that played on that day, I think they executed the game plan to nearly to a T. It was almost a perfect, performance, except for Thiago Silva, whom I talked about here yesterday, that he wasn't really up to par. If you followed the game, I think he didn't perform. His performance, it showed that he was tired, because at this age, I think, is it 34? I think he's, I've forgotten how old is it actually. He's been overplayed. He's played so many games. He traveled to South America to play for Brazil. He came back and should have been rested, but he played, and again, he played the other game, and then the game against Southampton, I think that's why he wasn't up to par. If you ask me, it is a taller order. As long as we do ourselves proud on the day, I am fine either way. I think if we first of all want to find a balance, that we must play with balance, in the sense that we must find a balance between defending and trying to get goals to overcome the goals deficit. Then we'll have a chance to progress into the next round. And also the second point I talked about is concentration. We must be, the players' concentration level must be top notch. It must be 100% plus. Because if you ask me, I'd say us conceding 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes shows that there were lapses in terms of concentration on that day, because it shouldn't happen. And again, I must tell you this. Even during the game against Brentford and also the game against Real Madrid, the players looked downcast. You could argue in the game against Brentford, they looked downcast and tired, because it was just after the game took place, just immediately after the international break. And that usually, it doesn't favor us in any way, because we have lots of players traveling for international assignments. But that's, by the way, my point is that no matter what happens, we must be 100%. That is, the team must concentrate 100% plus and not relent until the man in the middle blows the whistle. Let me try and read some comments in the chat. It says, Mikhail says, blue morning to you too. Mikhail, nice to see you here. I know we can win this game. Yes, we can win this game for sure. Rice Mill, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you here, and I know you're watching from Facebook. Please, if you can, I'd appreciate it if you can join us on YouTube and like the video, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That will go a long way in helping us reach more people. Right now, we have 16 likes. I think we can get 100 likes today. And let me see what next is there to read. Mikhail says, Real will play on the counter, so we are likely to be carved open on the breaks. I think the fact is it's only natural, because I think we'll try also as usual to keep the ball. That doesn't change under Thomas Tuchel. He hardly does the opposite. But the fact that Real Madrid is a home, I think it's a plus for us in a way, in the sense that they would try to play us in their backyard, and that's where we have an opportunity to do well. I don't think they're going to sit back, but yeah, of course, naturally, if we come at them, if we keep the ball very well, the only thing, a natural thing for them would be to defend and also try to get us on the break. I think you're correct, but I don't think they will intentionally sit back. I think they will sit back if we play well, and then their only option will be to counter us, catch us on the break, and then score goals. And they've been doing that quite well under Carlo Ancelotti. And if you remember, we talked about this before. That's for the first leg match that they play differently under Carlo Ancelotti. They defend as a unit under Carlo Ancelotti. They play more aggressively under Carlo Ancelotti, and I think that's where we saw the difference on that day. It wasn't. We played a different Real Madrid, and the Real Madrid we played under Zinedine Zidane. But that's by the way. And this is Melissa saying, Michael, good morning. Good morning to you again, Michael. I hope you see that. And it says Thiago Silva is 37. And and that's surprising to me. And just to digress a little bit, at 37 on his day when he's well rested and ready to go, he plays like he is and it's 20. And today I still cannot understand how that is possible. I'm guessing he takes good care of himself. And on that day, I think he will be key to the way we play because his camp presence makes a whole lot of difference for us Chelsea fans. And Mikhail says, good question, Melissa. Probably not as long as we go further in FA Cup and secure third, not a total failure. I'd say even if we lose the FA Cup, I think given the circumstances we found ourselves in, I wouldn't say it's a bad season should we not even win the FA Cup. Because this whole conundrum, this whole thing that the club are going through, I think, affects us in so many ways, mentally and otherwise. And I must give credit to the players. Given the circumstances, they've been very professional and they've done quite well given what we're going through at the moment. Alfred Rius said, I think they need to try to kill us off. If they let us come at them, we will have lots of chances. Exactly. That is something I've talked about when having this conversation with someone else. I don't think, yes, Madrid will sit back at home. The only reason why you see them, it will seem as if they're sitting back is that if we play good enough, that is to be on them throughout the game, the natural thing for them to do will be to defend, and then it will seem as if they're sitting back. I don't think they will do that intentionally because they are home. They'd like to, as Alfred Ruth said, they tried to kill us off at home. They'd like to outperform us in their own backyard. So I don't think they'd sit back. So your argument makes a perfect sense. And here, Chelsea with their two wing backs are a different beast. That's the truth. And that's where my argument comes in, where I never liked the fact that, our squad at Chelsea, we have a big squad, but we have a big squad that is not balanced. We have a big squad that has two facets, if you prefer. It has we have starters and then we have backups, and that is especially true when you talk about Chelsea's left wing players and their right wing back players. We have starters and we have backups, and that's the reason why when Ben Chilwell got injured, we've struggled in that position ever since, and that's the reason why when Reece James got injured, we had serious issues in that area. We weren't sure who starts. That's because we had starters and we had backups, and I think that mentality and even the fans often call for the club to sign backups and not to even go for good players. They look for cheap alternatives as long as the starter is fit. We never thought about the possibility of the starter getting it. We never think about that. Chelsea fans don't think about whenever the starter gets injured, the next person to start with will be that backup that we have, and that reduces the quality of the team. So it's about time Chelsea starts signing all starters so that whoever starts will still be fine and not start crying when player A gets injured because the next player around was signed to be a backup. And that's the difference between Chelsea Football Club and Manchester City and Liverpool. If you look at Liverpool and Manchester City, they have all the players they have in their team are all starters. And that's why when player A isn't playing, player B does an equal measure of job, and even sometimes does a better. So that mentality at Chelsea Football Club must change. We must start buying signing players that are all able to start when just whoever starts we can be rest assured the team has enough quality to get the results. And then again, this is my brother Bobby Fairview saying, a big supporter of this channel, saying big up Coachila, big up to you too, brother, and blue morning to you. More importantly, I hope you are doing well. Yes, let me see if there's anything here again. No Militao must be good news. Usually, I hate that. I don't like to reason that way. In football, it doesn't. Usually, in football, in most cases, 1+1 doesn't usually give you two. In some cases, in football, 1+1 gives you sometimes a 0 and or even 3. So it's not a game. Simply, you can't not script this game. And with the mentality of our players, we've learned some lessons of late. And when you think Chelsea will mop the floor with a team, usually they come, we come out battered after the moment the final whistle is blown. So, and again, I think it comes down, you could argue, the average age of the team, which should be around 21, 22, or 23. And that is really... some players at that age, usually, I don't know if it is something they do subconsciously, do take teams for granted when they hear, oh, player B is injured and won't be playing. So the natural mindset of players at that age will be, okay, the team is weak enough, and I think we've won this one already. And that is usually, you see complacency set in, and the team underperforms. So I don't really know. I think it's good news. It weakens Real Madrid. But to me, that's no guarantee that we're getting the result that day. And then the third point thing that Thomas Tuchel must do to ensure that we win on that game on that day. Before I do that, let me read also the comments. It says, need to keep high intensity at all time. Intensity is important. Yeah, it is important, especially when you're playing against a Carlo Ancelotti team. Intensity is important. From the pace at which the pace of our transition from the defense to the midfield to the attack, and also our pressing. We must press strategically. We must press aggressively. And when you're playing against this Real Madrid team, you don't just throw yourself at the ball or at the opposite at them, trying to retrieve the ball from them. If you do that, they have that is. You could argue two of the best midfielders in the whole world, whom, if you look at things, the fact that how aggressively you press doesn't really matter, because they are good enough to keep the ball. Even when you have 2 or 3 players on them, they still find your teammate with a decisive or killer pass if you want. So it's important that our presence is with intent. We press with intent. We don't just run like animals. They will tire us out because they're able to play out from the back, no matter how aggressive we play. So it's important that we play, press with intent, and more importantly, press strategically, press with balance. You don't just run at them because they have the ball. You press it. That is how do I phrase it again? Strategically, and not waste your energy on the 45 minutes. And then they will come at us and make sure, and they will deal with us severely. Again, if you're in the chat, the link to the panel is in the chat. And if you have time to join us, that would be great, so that you can join me on the panel. If not, I will go solo, and believe me, it will still be fun. Again, please allow me to take a sip of my coffee so I don't lose my voice, and also so I don't fall asleep, because it is still 3 a.m. here. Yes, so Nick Blue says, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Blue morning to you, Nick Blue. And if you want to join the panel, the link to the panel is in the chat, and it's pinned at the very top of the chat section. And yes, let me go ahead, and then Melissa says, Blue, good morning to you too. Yes, I'd like to see you say that, Melissa. And I'm glad, I'm happy I've made you a mod, because you haven't disappointed. Your behavior has been neutral. And yes, even if you troll, just keep it respectful. And thank you. I appreciate you. And who's next here? True Blue says, every player except Chalobah is an international. Is Aki better than any of our centre halves? Is Oxlade-Chamberlain a starter? Not going through Liverpool's F's and City, but at least in some areas, here's my point. And not here's my point. In critical areas, in the most critical areas, they have all players that are good enough to start at any time. All they have is starters, and I hope my point comes across. But at Chelsea, we have a lot of players that we like to call them dead woods. Most of them, you could argue, are not even good enough to play for Chelsea Football Club, but are there and are the only options we have whenever one of our players get injured. That's the argument. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I keep. I'm not going to try to compare that player with our squad. And believe me, give me Oxlade-Chamberlain and take Ross Barkley, and I'll tell you we have a starter in our hand because he has a better concentration rate than what's his name, than Ross Barkley, and he's more consistent than Ross Barkley. So the fact that remains, when you have all starters in a squad, if we had all starters when Ben Chilwell got injured, we wouldn't have a problem with Alonso. We'd still be comfortable having Alonso in the team and not complain too much. If we had all starters in the squad when Reece James got injured, we wouldn't even be experimenting with players. Today player A plays as a right wing back man. Tomorrow the player B plays as because we weren't sure. We don't have all starters. That's my argument. I'm not trying to compare their players with our players, but the fact is that Chelsea we've always had starters and backup players. We've always been sure of who starts. It's not a matter of we're not sure who's going to start because these two play in all positions. Let me just phrase it that way to be sure. In all positions, we didn't have a situation where we're not sure who's going to start because the two players are so good that each of them can start and then help us achieve result. But it's also always been we've always been sure who's going to start because we don't really trust the other person or because they're not good enough. So that's my argument. And with that, I want to welcome Nick Blue to the panel. Nick, how are you doing, brother? Nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm very fine. I'm extra glad today because I just managed to get free semi-final tickets one for my son and one for my grandson. For my grandson, time he actually did in real life, so I'm very happy to do that.
I think you're really breaking up. I think you may have to go out and come back so that your connection can fix. I think that's probably due to poor connection. I believe.
All right.
Hi, Melissa, the only Arsenal fan we like. Yep, we love Melissa here. She's been great, and she is the only queen in the house here. The other queens are not here. Nick Blue, haha, thank you. Yes, thank you. I like to read your comments. Melissa, okay, yes, we see. We struggle versus Pack the Boss. Again, we struggle versus Pack the Boss, and I think that comes down to the profile of players we have. Only, I think you could argue, let me see, only a player who's shown to also, be at his best even when we play against teams that defend deep or pack the boss like my brother Boy Jay noted here. It's Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic is he can play his way out of a very tight space. He can dribble his way out of a very tight space. He can still progress the ball even when opposition presses aggressively. I think he's the only player that's capable of, doing that effectively. So I think it all comes down, every other player in our team, unfortunately for us, if you look at it, correct me if I'm wrong, you can say 70% of the time need space to operate. Yeah, but that has been a big issue. We seem to struggle quite a lot against teams that are defensive. So good point right there by Boy J. And please, if you're watching, if you haven't, be sure to smash that like button so that YouTube will push the stream to more people who are interested in learning what Chelsea Football Club must do to beat Real Madrid and progress to the semifinals of the UEFA Champions League. And continue reading the comments here. Alfred Roos says, I truly believe that Chalobah will come into a greater Chelsea play for the future. Yeah, I truly believe that he will become great for us in the future. But right then, I think our best option in that right centre-back position although will be Andreas Christensen, I think that's an audition for him. And psychologically, I think he wasn't bad in our last game. Psychologically, I think I would play him, knowing that because it's an audition for him, given that he'd been moving to Barcelona, and if he I think he must be 100% to show what he's. That is, it's an opportunity for him to show, yes, you're signing me, and believe me, I'm going to do well for you. That is on this ground if I get a chance to play there. So I think psychologically I would start him, and that is something that Jose Mourinho would do. Say, okay, and then play with his mind and let him know this is your opportunity to prove to those that you've signed with, because given what we're hearing, he's already signed for Barcelona. Is to prove that they're signing the right player, and I think this is an audition for him. I would start him over Chalobah, and again, I'm not sure. We're not sure what Thomas Tuchel is going to do, but we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't risk Chalobah again for obvious reasons. He hasn't played that much for a while since returning from injury, and also I think at times. Even during games he's played after returning from injury, he's looked a bit shaky. Maybe he needs time, and I think Thomas Tuchel will be the first to understand that a player needs time and not to rush a player back. I think he's done that on occasions. He's done that with Ben Chilwell. He's done that with Reece James, and it's worked. I don't think there's a need to rush players. And True Blue says with a coach that rotates frequently. Again, that's another good argument. With a coach that rotates frequently, that's when you have all starters, then it makes sense. But with a coach that doesn't rotate players, again, there's an issue, because some players, whether they're good enough to be starters or not, will start to look as if they're just a backup. So good argument from True Blue. And again, please, if you haven't, the channel is really growing at even a faster rate. And I must tell you, you guys are absolute legend. The channel will be doing as well as it's doing without you, the people in the chat. You provide great value to the stream. I'm going to add back Nick Blue here. Sorry, I haven't seen you. I wasn't paying attention. So I appreciate you being here, but please do me a favor and like the video. Right now we have 21 likes, but I think we can do better. And also share the stream. Tell more people about the Blue Morning Show. It is a daily show where we just where you see we have live Chelsea news, interactive Chelsea news, because we address your questions, and also we address your input. Sometimes if you see great inputs in the chat, we talk about it. So Nick, let me just quickly catch up with what we have here, and I'll come back to you. And Mikhail says, I get your point, Coachila, but we only have Barkley and maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Sa Kepa. Apart from Barkley, the rest have all been involved. Yes, I get that, but I think I'm glad to see that you understand my point. Yeah, I think that's always an issue with us here. And Kronos Dan says, I don't want to see Andres Christensen really. Vinicius is going to love it again. Shame Aspilicueta got COVID. I stick with him at right wing back and Reece James at right center back. Here is the thing. We must recognize this. That game against the first leg against Real Madrid, the poor performance, I think, defensive performance, I still argue that. I know some people think otherwise. Comes down to the lack of proper protection from our midfield. And that day we had Jorginho, and he was so slow in progressing the ball. And he gave the ball away in a couple of occasions. Jorginho also, while I give him credit for his ability to sometimes read the game and be in the right place at the right time to intercept the opposition play, he wasn't at his best on that day. He was very, very poor. He did nothing to stop. He did nothing to stop the Real Madrid moves, especially the Luka Modric last pass to Benzema's pass to Benzema's second goal. Nobody was there to close Luka Modric down. He had all the spaces, and he's experienced enough that if you give him just 2 seconds, he'd be able to, orchestrate some great passes. He didn't even have to look up to put that ball in the box there, because he has an almost telepathic, connection with Karim Benzema. But my point referencing that pass is that Jorginho should have read the game and should have, closed him up But even if it's in him, he's not quick enough to get to where he is. Before he did that, I think, like I've mentioned, Luka Modric experienced enough to do some damage, and that happened on that day. So we need a very, mobile midfield. I think Kovacic and what's his name, and N'Golo Kante are the best options for us. I think they'd be able to close them down before they, find, orchestrated this decisive pass like Luka Modric said that day. Aspi, he says, is fit. If it's fit, he may well start. It is that is he that great news? Again, I'm not sure what you're talking about. The Kronos says here, Aspi right wing back and Reece right centre back. I think if you play Reece at right centre back, I think we will have the same issue we had the last time. Because let me explain. Let me say something here. We must remember this. Real Madrid, Karim Benzema getting two-headed goals, it wasn't accidental. It was by design. And the fact is, one thing we don't listen to usually, I think, defending crosses in the air, and also defending crosses during corner kicks, it hasn't always been Thiago Silva's strongest suits. I think the first person I learned that from before I started looking at it is my brother and friend Matt J. Blige, who talked about it when we did a video on Thiago Silva's or Thiago Silva's profile. So Karim Benzema scoring two-headed goals within the span of 3 minutes or so wasn't by accident, it was by design. Thiago Silva has played under Carlo Ancelotti, and he is well aware of that weak Thiago Silva's that aspect of Thiago Silva's game. So yes, Reece James starting at the right centre back position makes it even easier for Real Madrid to do some damage to us aerially. So I wouldn't start Reece James at the right centre back position because he's not the best aerially. I'd still keep Andreas Christensen there. Nick Blue, your thoughts before I go back to the chat again.
Yeah, first of all, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
Can you hear me, Nick? I think you still have a connection issue. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, as we travel,
yeah,
so that's good news. So will be
I think you still have. I'm not sure why. Maybe you need to check your connection. I'm going to ask. Go ahead, but I'm listening to you while I add a poll there for those in the chat to answer.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Crystal clear.
Yeah, I was saying, it's good news. We have Aspi. He's going to be he's in the squad. So Tuchel can choose whether he'll start Alonso on the left wing back, which I think he will, and Aspi, Reece James on the other side, and Aspi at the back with Silva and Rudiger. So no need for Christensen. Christensen can stay on the bench, really, because he's, like I said before, his mind is not there. He's in Barcelona.
But he didn't look like his mind wasn't there in the last game he played against Southampton. He was brilliant.
Yeah, he was all right. Yeah, he was okay, but this is Real Madrid, and we need Aspi to play. So you can't put Christensen in front of Aspi. Aspi is the first. We need. He's got the experience. He knows Real Madrid inside out. You have to play him. And I think Tuchel will play him as long as he's 100% fit. No way Christensen is going to get in there for me, unless Aspi is not 100%. And that's what I like to see. Then free Alonso, Reece James, Kovacic, Kante, Havertz.
We're using okay. I'll come back to you. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Havertz, Mount, and Pulis. Werner has to be on the bench. That's what I would do, and I think I'll be very close what Tuchel does. Yeah, but
Yeah, it remains to be. Yeah, it remains to be seen what it does. And Thomas Tuchel is not a manager you can. It is very difficult to always correctly predict the players that he will select on that day. And here, Kronos, Dan, were you still saying something, Nick?
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Were you still saying something? Okay, let me wait for Nick. I think he seemed to be having a connection issue, and I just don't know why. And again, I'm going to read this from Currents. Dan says, Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, Reece James, Alonso left wing back, Kovacic, Kante, the 2 6s, Aspi, right wing back, Mount, Kai behind Werner, and okay, I get your selection here, but I don't think Thomas Tuchel would start Aspi given that he's not fully fit. He's proven that he doesn't rush players back. And since we have Andres Christensen, and remember his statement that as long as Andres Christensen is fit and he remains at the club, he trusts him. He will start him. And here's the thing again. Let me repeat myself again. The 2 goals that Thiago Silva scored against us. But before I continue, I want to say blue morning to my brother Tobago. How are you doing, brother? And also to my, he says, hit the like button. And please, if you're in the chat, make sure to like the video, share it with people that you know would like to join us here and learn what Chelsea must do to overcome Real Madrid. Kyrgyzstan, perfect lineup. And I'll let you know why I don't think that lineup is perfect in a bit. And this is, I want to say, big up to you, Sal. Blue morning to you. Blue morning to Deals CFC. Big up, Coach. Big up, Nick and everybody. Big up to you too, brother. Let me quickly catch up with the chat here. And Mikhail says, I'd start a same up front 3 as we used versus Brentford. Oh, was that the front 3 we used at Brentford? Surprisingly, I think it was. And they did very well the other day. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. This is a chance for Timo to turn up again. He's turned up already. And this is a chance to show that he can be consistent. So I'm going to go back. Let me see. Did I miss this? I just joined up. But what do you think our front 3 should be? I think Timo should maybe start after that game against Southampton. Okay, Carl Ola, to answer your question, again, I think Timo should keep his place. Given his performance against Southampton, he should have at least scored. He could have scored 4 goals. He was just unlucky. It wasn't as if he missed those chances. He hit the left bar, right bar, and then the crossbar. So it was just like, although it was entertaining to watch, but at the same time, the most important thing learned is that he looked confident. Some argue that it's because he scored most of his goals for Chelsea against Southampton. But the fact remains, you can't take away the fact. We can't forget the fact that he was brilliant on the day. He was, he looked confident. He looked rejuvenated. He looked, he played like he was on something for the whole 90 minutes. And I think it was the one he rounded the goalkeeper. I don't think he scored a better goal for Chelsea than that one. And that, you could say, is an SQ of his goals when he played for Leipzig. But again, I'd start at the front 3 that started that day. There's no need to change things. Usually, in football, as the old saying goes, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And believe me, if you start the front 3 that played against, that were that brilliant against Southampton, believe me, they will give you a good performance again. But you need to show them, okay, I trust you, and because you did this against Southampton, I think you will be able to do it again. So I want to look at the lineup that I saw here, the lineup from Kronos now. Here's again the issue I have with this lineup. You have Reece James as a left wing back. Let me see, where's it again? Who do you have as the right center back there? Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, James, Alonso left wing back. So you have James as a right wing back. Again, I'm going to make myself clear again. James isn't the strongest aerially. In fact, I think he's if you follow him since he started playing for Chelsea, I think you'd see that he's the area, but that is aerially he's not the best. Let me just phrase it that way. And that brings to mind again what I wanted to say. Karim Benzema scoring two-headed goals against us within the span of 3 minutes wasn't by accident. It was by design. Because Thiago Silva, as good as it is, isn't the best at attacking crosses in the air. He isn't the best at attacking corner kicks, defending corner kicks in the air. And I've let you know, I learned about that when I was making it, when I made a video on this profile with Matt J. Bowles from Worldwide Chelsea Sport. He made that statement, and I had to go research it, and it turns out it is true. So he's played under Carlo Ancelotti too, and I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti is well aware of that weakness of his as a player. As good as he isn't the best really. So those two goals by Karim Benzema was an accident. It was by design. They knew exactly what they were doing. So if we should start Reece James here on that day and not Andreas Christensen, would be weaker really in terms of that is defensively. Nick Blue, your thoughts on starting Reece James as the right as a right centre back man on that day?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, crystal clear, brother.
That's better. Yeah, I'll change something. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Look, Reece James, he's the right wing back, and he can get up there and cross those balls, which we will need. For me, yeah, he has to start right wing back. Like I said, I would leave Christensen out, put Aspie back in if he's 100% fit, which he might not be. So if it's not Aspie, Christensen can play at the back with Silva and Rudiger. Otherwise, it's going to be Aspie for his experience and his know-how on this Real Madrid team. There's no one better than Aspie who knows these players. And that's the sort of game.
Here's what he did. I don't. Yeah, go ahead, Nick. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a sort of game he thrives on. Like I said, this will be my formation. Mendy, Alonso left wing back, Reece James right wing back, Rudiger on the left back.
How about right centre back? Who do you start? Who do you start at the right centre back position?
Yeah, right centre back is going to be Aspie if he's 100%. Otherwise, it's going to be Christensen.
That's where I have a problem. Let me repeat myself.
Yeah, I know you're saying
Aspie isn't the best really. We must stop.
You want Reece James as a right back?
Andreas Christensen, yeah.
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 Yeah, but what if Aspie's fit?
But go ahead.
Yeah, coach. If Aspie's fit, you wouldn't play.
I don't think he's fully fit right now, given that he's just returning after he had COVID. I don't think. And we've learned if you're paying attention to how Thomas Tuchel operates, he doesn't rush players back. And here's my point. I'm going to restate it again. Karim Benzema's 2 goals that he scored within the span of 3 minutes against Chelsea Football Club was not by accident. It was by design. They knew exactly. They knew we're not the strongest in terms of defending crosses aerially. And Thiago Silva has played under Carlo Ancelotti too. And I'm sure, given Carlo Ancelotti's tactical acumen, he's well aware of that weakness. And intentionally, they will even Modric didn't even have to look back. He didn't even look up before orchestrating that is the ball, dropping the ball into the box.
Yes.
So I think if we start Cesar Azpilicueta as the right centre back man or Reece James, we will become even weaker. We'll become weaker even more.
I get your point, but look, don't forget, we were the best defence in Europe not long ago, with Rudiger, Silva, and Aspie, and sometimes Christensen. We dealt with everything before. We had an off day. The defense was off. Don't forget, it's not just Benzema being great or Modric. We were off. Christensen was very bad. The worst, I think. No one was on it that day, so we can't say, if we place Reece James or Aspie in them positions, we can't say that it ain't going to work. But if Aspie is not 100% fit, Yeah, I agree with you. We have to put Christensen and Rhys James.
You're not really concerned about the
Yeah.
area issues that I've explained to you.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm just saying we dealt with it for how long before, and we wasn't licking any goals, you know. But yeah, I see your point. If Aspie doesn't play, all right, Christensen will come in, and
Mhm.
so you would still put Rhys James right back. Where were you going to put Rhys James?
I'd play with James at its natural position, the right wing back position,
Yes,
and then play as what's his name, Andres Christensen in the
yeah,
right
yeah.
centre back position. That
I
way,
agree. I agree with you there. That's
yeah.
okay. That's only if Aspie's not 100% though. You know,
And again, Nick, you must remember something. Under Thomas Tuchel, he doesn't rush players
yeah,
back, players
yeah. He
returning
doesn't.
from
He
injury.
doesn't.
He
Now,
doesn't exactly. So we must
did you see?
recognize that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
did you see the press conference today in the morning? Tuchel. Yeah,
No, I haven't
Tuchel.
watched it. What are you saying?
Yeah, Tuchel's press conference. He said the only ones out is Hudson Odoi and Ben Chilwell. Aspie is ready
Ben
to travel,
Chilwell and
and
yeah.
Hudson Odoi. Everyone else is fit, he said. So for Aspie to be traveling, he must be ready.
Yep.
You know, that's another thing. So it could be either way on this one. Depends what Tuchel feels like doing. But I do want Aspie in the team if he's ready because of the experience.
Mhm.
That's why.
Mhm. Yeah, I think experience is important, but again, we've learned that Tuchel he doesn't let you hit as a coach. He doesn't give opposition managers the opportunity to slap him, from the same angle
Mm.
twice.
Yeah.
Once it happened once, I've noticed that,
Yeah.
like, especially since he's come to Chelsea, he fixes it immediately. And I'm still arguing this. I do not think he will start as Azpilicueta at the right centre back position.
You think
Reason,
it's Christensen?
if he starts, then we'll become weaker aerially even more than we were before.
Yeah, but
That's my point.
all right.
But
Let's say he starts Christensen. At least has to
mhm.
be on the bench for sure. He'd be on the bench.
Yeah,
So
for
we
sure, he'd
can
be on the
change it.
bench
Yeah.
if need be. So that
Yeah.
if it's needed, he can bring him on and,
Yeah,
and help him
maybe he will do
impact
that.
changes.
He could well do
But
that.
Nick,
Yeah.
let's talk about the points that I say things that we must do for Chelsea Football Club to win that game. And again, I want to answer this question by let's talk about, before we continue. Let's talk about this here from Ham's Master, who says do you guys think we actually have a chance? We do have a chance, and again, I think. And once it's still mathematically possible, then it can still happen. It can still happen, and we've done it before. I think was it against Napoli? I don't remember who.
Yeah. Napoli.
I think it was in 2012. Was it Napoli?
Yeah, Napoli. We were losing 3-1, same as Real Madrid, and we come back and won that.
Exactly.
Game.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you could argue the difference was then because I think we played away first, right? And then we beat them at home. But that's not. It's no different from the current situation. It can still happen. I don't want to talk about them losing Militao due to suspension or all that. I think I don't want to see it from that angle. The fact that it is still possible, it can still happen. We can still beat them at the Bernabeu and then go through to the semifinals. So, and again, let me go through the chat so we can start talking about the things that we must do to beat them, to defeat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in Spain. Now here we see. What did it say? Oh yeah, damn. Okay, yep. Yes, we can. Thank you very much for telling him that. This is Tobago saying. Let me see. Just saying he's good, and this is saying, big up coach, big up Nick. Let's talk about tomorrow's comeback. Yes, we're talking about it, brother. And again, if you want to join the panel, I have the link to the panel in the chat. If you have time, join us. That would be great. Hi, Hams. We have an outside chance to level aggregate. I'd say 20% to win on aggregate. Probably 10% chance. Okay, Mikael, please be optimistic. I know, I understand your point. But I think given the average age of our players and given they're so young, mentally you could argue they're not that strong. I think it's best to let them know, like Thomas Tuchel, like he said, it's over. I think that's the best way to deal with these players. It's a psychological, talk. But if you think I think the best thing to show is let them know how difficult it is. Maybe that will get them to do even better. We can get at the back line. Yes, we can do that. And I just answered that question before. Let me see, just catch up quickly and see what else we can do here. Pulisic not informed. I think he's informed. I think because he's traveled and he didn't return on time and then missed the previous games after his international assignment. But then again, after these guys played as good as they played today, I don't think it would be nice to remove for any of them not to start against Real Madrid. But Pulisic will still get his chance again. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. I'd like to see Timo start again. Yep, I'd like to see Timo start again and get at the Real Madrid defense. I think we can level it by halftime. We can if we put away the chances we get. Let me see what else we have here. Aspi or Reese for right wing back, right centre back. I'd rather neither of them start at the right centre back position because that will weaken us aerially. And Real Madrid, they've seen, if that was a strategy, but I'd argue it was by design, it was not by accident that they tried to find Benzema on the air and he took the chances very well. It could have been more, actually. Why risk him an injury when he's moving to Barca? I don't think I wouldn't call that a risk. Let me see if there's anything else I have to read here. But I don't know. Southampton and Real Madrid are a really different team. Again, that argument that Southampton played poorly, the truth is we make them play poorly. We played so good. The natural thing that happened to them is for them to look depleted or look, below par. We played so good that they, from the onset, from the start of the game, we were hungry. You could see from the players, they were there. They came with a strategy and they executed the strategy to a T. So it wasn't like we made them look as poor as they looked on that day. So I wouldn't just go straight to saying, no, I don't think. But the truth is, I get your point. Real Madrid will be a different animal because they have better players. That's just the truth. Let me see if there's anything else to address here. And this is, okay, besides Arsenal game, okay, that's just absolutely, he would have kept Aspi at home for the semi-final. Okay, yep. Let me see, Melissa, okay, again, 3 goals. Let me see if there's anything to address here. If not, we move. And I have a donation for Melissa Castillo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think you've proven we were right to love you. We know deep down you're a nice person. I appreciate the super chat. And your family here, you know that already. So I cannot thank you enough for the support. But you don't have to really do that because you're part of the mod and you don't get paid for being a moderator. So, but thank you again. I appreciate that. Yes, like and subscribe, people. Like one of the queens of the house said, I'd appreciate it if you can do that. I went both legs, followed it up with both Bayan, a great period for us. It was a great period for us. And that's so your testament to the fact that we can actually, overcome the deficit and then, go through to the next round. Militao is out. Let's stop talking about that. That's no guarantee. I think Carlo Ancelotti is experienced enough, to put, some players together, and they have a good academy. So chances are anybody that comes in to replace Militao would be good or even better. And usually in a team, at a club like Real Madrid, even have somebody that when he comes in will be will do even more to do better than Militao because that's a chance for that person to become a starting centre back. So I wouldn't just say we're good because Militao is out. Madrid won't play as high as Southampton. I think they will. The difference with them is that even if they play high, I think under Carlo Ancelotti, I don't know how he does that. I think you wouldn't even get the chance to bypass them that easily. I think where this game will be won will be in the midfield. Defense got to be on point. So Nick, given this last statement that I've read here, I want us to start again. I talked about it alone. I was by myself when I talked about it. The first point I say is of the things that I think we must do, to defeat Real Madrid is we must, find a balance between defending and attacking. Because if we're focused on either of the two too much, we will suffer the other way around. If we focus on getting goals too much, they will get a chance to score against us. If we focus on defend or not to concede, then we will not score a goal. So, Nick, what do you think? Can you hear me, Nick?
Yeah, I'm here. I was on mute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you get my question, right? How important is balance in that game? Balance in attack and defense.
Yeah, it's very important. We need our midfield to be really on fire. We need Kovac and Kanti to have, their best performances, like we know they can. And then, and for Kanti not to go bomb forward too much, he has to stay more defensive side. He has to stay back and help the defense like he can do. If Kanti does his job properly, and Kovacic, I trust, with all my life, I know Coachila will have a great game, and he knows.
Yeah, definitely for him. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's it's gonna be like you said. If we win the midfield, we're gonna win this game. It's half time. It's like we're losing 2-0 at half time. It's just we have to take it like that. And if we come out like we hope we will, come out with our hearts in the game, forget the tactics, come out, go for them. We have to defend well, make sure they don't score because we need that goal. We get the first goal, then it's game on. We get the first goal, and the Real Madrid will be scared. And their fans.
But let me ask you this question specifically, Nick.
Yeah.
If you're in the chat, let us know, how do you think we can find a perfect balance between attacking Real Madrid to get goal, cancel the deficit, score more goals to win that is a goal, and on aggregate? Let us know. Also, I want to hear from you guys in the chat. How do you think we can find a balance between attacking and defending? Because if we forfeit either of the two, then that's a chance that we will lose on the day. So, Nick, how do you think? Would you say in terms of selection, or in terms of what would you do as if you were Thomas Tuchel to find the perfect balance between us trying to, to overcome the deficit and then find our extra goal to win? Can you hear me, Nick?
I was muted again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to, have Mason Mount. We know he can run all over the place, and he has to do it more on Tuesday. Yeah, he has to help that midfield, and he has to help the attack, and he can do that on his game. He can do that. Havertz as well. He's going to be a major factor. We can rely on Havertz, Mount. Now it's between Werner, Ziyech, and Pulisic. Who does he play? Does he go with Werner because he had a great game? But me personally, I don't think he will. I think he will put Pulisic or Ziyech on the left. He will have Pulisic or Ziyech. I'm not sure which one. Even you can't tell which one he will, unless I'm completely wrong and he starts with Werner. But I can't see it because Werner is, he does miss his chances. Forget the Southampton display. This is Real Madrid. We can't afford to. We can't take chances. So if you put Werner there, you're taking a chance. I'm not saying the other players have, they're going to score. 100% they're going to score, but they have more chance to put that ball in the net and help Havertz with great crosses like Ziyech can do. When he's on fire. So for me, it could be Ziyech or Pulisic. I don't mind either one. But no, Werner has to be on the bench for me. And So it depends how we, we
Can you
haven't
tell
got
me
that.
why you want to, after that performance, you want to drop Werner to the bench?
Because that's one performance. You can't go on one performance.
Okay,
All
okay.
season,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
he hasn't been
Go
he
ahead, Nick.
hasn't been good. He misses too many open goals for a start. Forget Southampton. I wouldn't risk it. No, it's got to be Ziyech Pulisic for me. There's no other way. I can't see Werner starting.
Okay.
He can come on things.
Okay, we'll see.
Depends on
But
the
I'm
on the
here to
game
tell
days.
you, I can still Werner starting still, but we'll see who. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I can't see it. I don't think Tuchel would take that chance, that risk. And yeah, it's like we need Kante to, control that midfield. Stay back. Don't go forward and leave spaces. That's another point. Because Kante can do that.
Yeah,
If Kante does his job,
here's the thing. Let's talk about this. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's talk about this now. I'm going to go back, take the games one by one, so we understand why it's important. We need a balance between a defense and attack, and you can see against this game here against Real Madrid here, I think we didn't have a proper balance here in the midfield.
No.
This is us here. We didn't have a proper balance here in the midfield because
Yes.
Jorginho, even though he had an assist, I think he had an awful game overall. And N'Golo Kante was not at his best. So to strike a balance really between attack and defense, I think the best pairing here would be Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante. And Kovacic will venture forward while Kante, his specialty is reading and thwarting opposition moves. I think because Kovacic wasn't on the pitch on that day, I think this guy, Jorginho also, I think maybe he looked mentally tired. He didn't just look tired, he looked mentally tired. He was poor overall, and it was Kante doing the whole work. And Kante himself wasn't really himself. Kante looked so, he looked out of place. It wasn't like it was the Kante we all, like to see play for Chelsea Football Club. So I think the best pairing, as we've seen, so I'm going to go back again to the game against Southampton here, which is this one. We had a perfect balance here between attack. Yeah, we had a perfect balance between, defending and attacking, and that's because these two guys were on the pitch. And once it's like this, but it doesn't just stop there. Our defending, as these three guys were started from the front of three. It started from Kai Havertz. He was energetic. He was pressing very well. And Mount was also pressing effectively. Werner also pressed effectively. And they didn't just press. They pressed strategically. That's where what we need to do against Real Madrid and that on that day. During the first leg, we pressed well. And we even forced Militao to make a mistake. But I think at the time, our pressing subsided. And it wasn't good enough. So, but on this day against Southampton, we could see our defenders started from the front, given the fact that the three guys on the front pressed very well. They pressed strategically also. And also, we had a perfect balance in the midfield. Kovacic ventured forward, but we had Kante who protected the defense very well. But during the first leg, we didn't have that protection against Real Madrid. And that was a serious problem. Their midfield in the first leg at Stamford Bridge operated with impunity. Nobody stopped them. Kroos had the freedom of his life. He enjoyed his game. Modric had the freedom of his life. He enjoyed the game. That even you could see nobody closed him down when he put the ball in for what's his name, from Karim Benzema's second goal. So my argument is that it's important that we Thomas Tuchel find a balance between us attacking them and also defending not to concede more goals. So it's important not to just focus on one aspect of the game. We must find a balance, 50-50 attack, and also be sure not to concede at all. So let me go quickly breeze us through the chat, and I'll come back to you. And Tobago, yes, I watched it. And this is Militao said, again, we shouldn't bank on that. Like I've said before, that's no guarantee that they will underperform or we are going to beat them. Madrid won't play as high as Southampton. I think, again, I've talked about this before during this show. They'll only look as if they're defending deep. If we play so good, naturally then they have to defend. But then again, I don't think Madrid would defend deep at home. Carlo Ancelotti's future has a huge question mark over it already. They'd like to. Real Madrid would want to outplay us at their backyard, and then only then the fans will be satisfied. That's who they are. I don't think they will. Their such a strategy will be to sit back. They'd look to score even more goals to kill off the game before halftime. Because if they don't, we'll get a chance. And if they sit back, the more chance opportunity we'd have to come at them, and eventually we'd score goals. And they don't want that to happen. Carlo Ancelotti is experienced enough. I don't think he'd risk sitting back at home. Defense got to be on point to shut out Benzema. Again, the whole thing starts from the midfield. If we let them operate with impunity like we did at home, then no matter how strong we are defensively, I think it will be useless because they will always, if they bypass our midfield and come at our defense like 10 times, you could argue at least 3 times out of those 10 times they will have a chance to have a go at our post. Tobago says UK government just approved the Ricketts family proposal. Wow, I guess up to the Chelsea. Even if this news is true, it doesn't mean they have other people vying to become the owners of Chelsea Football Club that they will look at this. So it just has the same thing as the Ricketts family meeting with Paul Carneville. Every other group has gotten the opportunity to sit and talk with Paul Carneville via phone call. So I'm not really worried about that. We need to pass the ball correctly and quickly. Also, with the intensity, we have to play with high intensity. We have to be high octane on that day because if we slow the game down, then it suits Real Madrid well. They would just quite a while away the time if we do that. It's the basics. If we attack space, play direct, and press their midfield all game long, we can accomplish it. But big if. Yep, it's important to say it's a big if. It's a difficult task, one that we must, pay attention, be 100%. We must concentrate 150 plus throughout the game to carry the day. And I don't want to see Jorginho start. I don't think he will start. And again, we've seen that we can actually play without him. We can actually control games without him. I don't think he will start. But then again, we're talking about Thomas Tuchel. When you think player A starts, he fails player B. That has happened several times. That it's not just. I'd be surprised if Jorginho starts. But we'll see. Tobago really beat us. Okay. For 10th, yep. Again, so yeah, that's why I don't really trust that news. I love Jorginho, but tomorrow we need a speed, we need a pace, in terms of transition and everything. This is what's line up. Start Werner up front, half left. Again, we're just looking. That's not the lineup we're saying we're going to start. We're just looking at referencing the performance against Southampton and talking about it. Agenda against Werner. I can't be asked. No, it's not. That's not. In time, we will join forces to get bad owners. But let's be careful there. Havertz is from Germany. Why don't he play good against a high liner? He's been brilliant for us. He plays well against high lines, even low blocks also. I don't know what you're trying to say there. This is Manas Lacroix says Juvenali come back in Bernabeu after 3-0 down in Turin. So it's possible. It's possible, and we've done it before. So history is on our side, but we don't bank on history. We put in the work. We will come out victorious on that day. Werner tomorrow. I hope to see that. And I want a hat-trick from him. It is possible if Madrid play a high line. And remember, Timo doesn't only perform when oppositions play a high line. He can be a poacher too. He's always in the right places in the box. If you can get the ball to him, tap-ins, he is good at those. Stop protecting Havertz and Mount by blaming midfield before match. Do you have no faith in Mount or Havertz? Everyone has to protect them before. No, we're not protecting them. I don't see anybody here protecting them, except if anybody in the chat said so. I think they did well against, they pressed well, and they combined well. The link-up play was brilliant to see, and the fluidity also was enjoyable to watch. I didn't say they will sit back. Okay, good to correct. I get that.
Oh,
Who owns a lot
yeah,
of American sports team joins Stephen Paglica Consortium. So yeah, you wanted to say something. You go ahead.
Be careful when you get haircuts. So you don't gamble it.
I don't do that.
Because I'll fuck both. Yeah, you know the.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, this is because it's like Mikhail says, it's a big if we get through, but it's a if that we can do it. It's up to us. It's up to Chelsea, every single player to be 150%. If they can manage that, there's no reason we can't do this tie. It's gonna be even harder because it's a Bernabeu. It's gonna be Spaniards are very passionate. They're gonna make crazy noise, unbelievable noise they're gonna make. But if we get that goal, that's the main thing. If we get that goal early, it will shut the crowd up. Then it's gonna be a different game. We just have to score first. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's nothing, nothing big about it. We just have to score first. I'm hoping and praying we do. And it's possible. We get one goal, we have a great chance. And if we do lose, say we win 1-0, I want to have no complaints, for the players. What I want them to do is give everything. Then, I'll be proud of my team even if we go out. Because we still have the FA Cup, and we need to win that FA Cup as well. So, I'm waiting, I'm very anxious for the game. And, and I'm glad for, today I managed to get 3 tickets for the FA Cup semi-final. One for my son and my grandson who hasn't been to Wembley. So I'm so glad to take him to Wembley for the first time. I'm very, very happy with that.
Oh, nice to hear.
And I'll be taking videos for you. I'll be taking live videos.
Oh, brilliant.
Sending them to you so you will have a lot to show before the game and everything.
Yeah, brilliant. I appreciate that, and I cannot thank you enough for being bringing us live
I'm
pictures.
only doing it for you. I'm only doing it for this channel, sending videos. No one else. Yeah. So,
thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, Nick.
I've been trying all week to get tickets. The third tier, there's 3 tiers. Third tier, second tier, first tier. The third tier, it just got sold out today. That's the cheapest way to go if you get that. But second tier, second dearest. But for my grandson, I don't care what I pay, even if I go in debt, which I have, to take him to Wembley. That's how much I love Chelsea.
Yeah. It's a once in a lifetime experience. So why not do it for your grandson? Yes, and with that, I want to say to everybody in the chat, if you haven't, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, that will go a long way in for the growth of the channel. The channel has been growing so far, and believe me, I must let you know, I couldn't have done it alone. It is with you, and your support in the chat provides more value than even those on the panel. So I appreciate your support. Please, if you haven't, make sure to like the video. Now we have 33 likes. I think we can get 100 likes before the show ends. So I appreciate your presence. And again, thank you once again for Melissa for that super chat. That means a lot to me. I sincerely do mean that. So again, let me go through the chat again and read everything we have there. I hope I am not lost. Okay, I've read that before. I've read this comment here. I read Mikael says, I bet Real Madrid will top up TT tomorrow. It's very possible. He's a top-notch manager. And if they're really planning to sack Carlo Ancelotti, I think they may well try to see if it's available. Juvenelli, okay, I've read that also. I want a hat trick. I've read these comments. I think I've read, I've read that one too. And Tobago, I wanted to say something about this. about declared saying, because this is a fan-driven show. It is driven by halfway the conversation of the people in the chat. He says that Tobago, the NBA chairman who owns a lot of American sports team, joined Team Pagluca Consortium, but there's still a huge question mark over the possibility of Pagluca and his team to become new owners of Chelsea Football Club. I think it's something has to do with his business dealings, sales of weapons, or something, some bribery issues in South Africa or so. I just can't remember properly what it is. To me, that's a huge question mark, and that's something that the government will eventually look at and say it's a no for them. I think, and then he still has a 55% stake at, I think it's Atalanta. So there's a huge question mark over the possibility of Steven Pagluca becoming the new owners of Chelsea Football Club. Again, if you're in the chat, the link to the panel is in the chat in case you want to join the panel. We have nothing to lose. We're going there to give everything. Yes, we will give everything. And hopefully by the end of the day, we will emerge the winners. I still Chelsea, nothing to lose. You are the reigning champions, so it's just to lose. I think that's a good counter argument to love to see that from Melissa. Okay, let's see. We're 3-1 down. Okay. Tobago issue with Todd Bowley is his consortium with Tottenham supporter and an old man who we don't know where his share will end up. I don't think I wouldn't judge anybody because of their age. That is discriminatory, if you ask me. But I think I'm fine with the Todd Bowley group or even the Martin Burton group, which is the most with most people who are really deep down Chelsea supporters. Let me see here. And again, my brother here shows up. We start Reece James. Why not? If you start Reece James, I don't have a problem. But then again, if you ask me, another point that I made, if we have N'Golo Kante, let me look at this, reference that lineup again. If we have N'Golo Kante here operating on the right-hand side, especially, and Mateo Kovacic here on the left-hand side, given that both players you can argue defensively, they can hold their own, they can track back, they have pace, and they can put in some good tackles. I think I'd go with Ruben Loftus-Cheek here again. Again, that's me. Why? Because if you watch, I watched that game like for the fourth time. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, although he played here, you can see he's had a hand either directly or indirectly in, I think, 2 of the goals, or I'm not sure, but his performance on that position, again, his primary responsibility wasn't to defend. He contributed quite a lot going forward. He helped us keep the ball very well. And if you ask me, I'd say he executed, I argued yesterday during the Blue Morning Show, he executed that role better than Reece James would do. Because Reece James, yes, it is his natural position, but Reece James in most cases like to turn around and pass the ball back. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek made more progressive runs in that position. I just wish there's a way to have them both on the pitch. I think that'd be great to see. But unfortunately, one has to make way for the other. But again, my argument is that he executed it so well that I'd say he starts. And given the fact that we will most likely have Andres Christensen here and Kante here, I'd say we'll still be defensively sound. I'm not concerned about Vinny will do there if Loftus-Cheek starts, because he's quick too. He's not the quickest, but he's quick enough, and he puts in some good tackles too. So I think I'd start him if I were Thomas Tuchel, but unfortunately it's not my decision because he did quite well. As you can see, he's rated 7.8 by FOTMob. But that's by the way, and I'm going to quickly catch up with the comments in the chat, and then we'll talk about the next point. First leg, I saw the focus and seriousness from Benzema. I knew he's up to something. Yeah, unfortunately for us, we were from our end. We were in, we were focused 100%, and he was able to score 2 goals without the span of 3 minutes, both headed goals. So that's something that shouldn't happen. Let me see, James. Let me see here again. And Benzema and Drew want, yep, if we cover them both, and then again, but we have to start from the midfield where the path will be spread to those on the flanks. Reece is our most lethal right back. right centre back will limit his potential. Yeah, exactly. So again, look at what I've argued here. I know Nick thinks otherwise. It wouldn't make sense after conceding two goals against two-headed goals against Real Madrid at home. It wouldn't make sense to start Reece James at the right centre back position, because that will weaken us even more in terms of aerial battles. We want 3 goals. We can do that. I hope we be able to do that. You wanted to say something, Nick? Ashamo said, I think Chelsea will win 4-0 tomorrow. I hope that happens, but I don't think it will be up to 4 goals. I think both teams I will score, but I think Chelsea will score more and enough to, go through to the semifinals. Melissa says La Doggett brought a Trevor bought 1 or 2 million. So they do invest in big names. Todd Boehly would really be a good fit for Chelsea. If I'm being honest, I think he will be a good fit, given he understands that it's important to win first of all, and then profit will follow, even if you're profit focused. That's one thing that most people want to know. Obunaya, my brother, says, hello guys, I'm very sure that Blues will qualify. I hope so, and I hope we'll talk about it and say, okay, I remember Obunaya saying he's very sure that we'll qualify. So Nick, let's talk about the other point we have there. But before we continue, please, again, I'm asking you, if you haven't, please be sure to like the video so to trigger the YouTube algorithm to push the stream to more people to join us. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. That would do us a world of good. Nick, the next point I want to talk about is the fact that we must be lethal in front of goal to overcome on that day. Because if we don't put away our chances, then we're doomed on the day. Your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I think. We can't afford to miss anything, especially the first chance we get is so important. We score. It's very important. It can come in the first 5-10 minutes, or 15 or 20, or even late on in the half. As long as we keep them out, keep them, out of our box, and make sure we go in at half time at least 1-0. That's what it's a must. We have to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to come back, just the second half and win the game. It's going to be hard to get 2 goals without them scoring as well in the second half. So it's just we have to be on it. Every single player, like I said, defend well, attack well. When you get your chance, you make sure it goes in. That's it doesn't matter which player it is. That's and it's we need luck. We need a lot of luck. We need luck to get the decisions from the ref and from VAR. We're going to need that luck. If we have all these things, we go through. There's no reason not to. But we need everything. Yeah.
I agree with you. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's the main thing. The main thing to score first and keep them out. Keep Benzema. And another thing, if we stop Benzema, we have a great chance because we done it last year.
Again, the whole thing that he needs the service. He needs the service not just from the flanks. He needs the service from the Real Madrid midfield. So we should actually, if we can stop Toni Kroos, and again, like we've mentioned before, the first leg was won in the midfield. We were very weak in the midfield, and as such, they were able to gather those.
We were rubbish. Jorginho didn't work. That day he done like one pass. Great pass it was, but that's all he did. We need our midfield. We need Kovac Kanti to be 150%. And we know when Kanti's on his game, it's like having 3 extra players on the pitch. We need that sort of performance from Kanti. And Kovac, we know what Kovac is, so we don't have to worry about him. If Kanti can somehow put that performance what he does in the past so many times for us and France. So that's
given this question on the screen, let me say this.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, given that this question on the screen that says, what position does the panel think Ruben Loftus-Cheek played in the last game? Should we play the same formation against Real Madrid? Here's the thing. I think you can call it. No, it's not really a right wing back. It's not really that. You could say it is hybrid. It was a hybrid. It was the application, or maybe the application was hybrid, but the structure says he played right wing back because his primary duty on that day wasn't really to defend, and he didn't do much. He contributed defensively, but you could see he did more going forward, and that's why I said even when from usually I think this is something that's with the way we play, with the way we apply this formation here, especially when it is 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2. No matter how you want to restructure the front three, the primary again the responsibility for the wing backs, right wing back or left wing back, isn't to defend. Usually they're expected to do more attacking wise, and I think Loftus-Cheek did that very well yesterday. The application you could say was hybrid. He wasn't really. He contributed so much to the ability of the midfield to keep the ball. He connect. The link-up play was brilliant, and he has a hand nearly indirectly or indirectly in almost all the goals. If you look at it again, so I think I'd rather play him there than Reece James, and I'm suspecting Tuchel may well do that, or maybe he just played him there and then rested Reece James to start against Real Madrid. But what he did differently than Reece James is he progressed the ball more rather than find crossfield passes or just play the ball backwards. I think it's hard to define that role given the way he executed it. Your thoughts, Baby?
Yeah, yeah. He done well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was very good, against Southampton. Yeah, he played like you said. He was meant to be a was it like a left wing back? I mean, sorry, well, right wing back, but it was a bit more than that. But he played good, but that was Southampton. And can you hear me, Coach? Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, it's gone dead. Fucking.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the connection. It's been fluctuating, and not sure, but I think I'm back now. Let me know if you can still hear me. And Nick also got kicked out, okay, but that's fine. Let me continue with what I was reading. It says Tuchel will play whoever he wants, regardless of our thoughts. Regardless of our thoughts, truthfully, because he's proven over time that when you think a player A starts, he fails player B. But I think most likely, if you ask me, a lot of the players that played against Southampton, I think, will likely start. I think he keeps the same shape in the mid, the same two sixes in the midfield. I think he will also keep the same back of three. I think Mendy keeps his place. Where I think he may change something will be just Reece James coming on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And if you're in the chat, let me know if you think the same. Here, let me see again. Here, what's his name? Let me read this comment here. Says Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a backup player. No room for Rubenism. This is not a matter of Rubenism. I think he executed whatever role he played on that day, because you can't quite say what role he played. The execution was perfect, but it was a mashup of him being on the flanks and also supporting the midfield and being a creator too in the final third. He executed that brilliantly. Mikhail here says Bali Ricketts are brought in front of three with Pagliuca locking just behind them. I think whatever happens, we don't want the new owners of the club to become the Ricketts. Bobby Fairview here says, I agree with you, Coachila. To me, he was more right fielded. Yep, that right wing back. So the execution was different, although the structure says otherwise. If you look at the structure, the first thing that comes to mind is that, he played at the right wing back position. No, but he played more like a right midfield, the right midfield position, and he executed it very well. Maybe that's where Tuchel should be fielding him more often. He was comfortable. He looked confident, and look at his passes. If you look at him, even before that one that he found Mason Mount in the Southampton box, he looked up. So that's one thing I like about him. He always has his head, always looks up and makes sure he finds the perfect pass whenever he's on the pitch. He's not just in a hurry to find his teammates and never loses the ball unnecessarily. So that was really good to see. So if I were Thomas Tuchel, like I said, I've argued I'd start him. Because I think he executed it very well, even better than Reece James does at times. Maybe Reece James will get you goals, but Loftus-Cheek will get you more, better link-up play and better ball progression. Again, it all comes down to who Tuchel wants to start. Saul is an experienced La Liga man, but this is no La Liga game. That's the truth, but this is a Champions League game, and we have a deficit to overcome, and then we need to score even more to carry the day. So I wouldn't start Saul, but you never know. It is Thomas Tuchel that we're talking about. It will almost always be difficult to correctly predict the player that he will start on that day. And I think this is Melissa asking, where's Coachila? Yes, we had a connection issue, and I was kicked out, and I had to again switch the router. That is to use the other one to get back to you guys. But I think it's better now. What happened to the stream? The stream didn't go anywhere. I think we had a technical issue, but Nick himself was also kicked out. Had he been around, he'd continue talking. And I'm suspecting it might happen again. If it does, please just keep the conversation going. I will be back. It will not be forever. Yep, I'm back. You've seen that already yourself. Let me see. Catch up with the comments here. Benzema strikes again. I don't think he will score again against us. I think we will concede, but I don't think it will be Benzema. The link is in the description section. Nick, you will see it there, and it's pinned to the top. Here, games like these needs Chile. I really don't know how we are going to turn it around. Miss Melissa, Miss Alano, I think we will turn it around. We can. That is, if we do what we're supposed to do. More importantly, we've talked about one of the first things we must do was to find balance between attacking Real Madrid and also ensuring that we defend very well. If we focus too much on attacking, then we'll leave spaces behind for them to, come at us and score goals. If we focus too much on defending, they will come at us as, so many times that they will get a chance to have a go at our post. So it's important to find a balance between attacking Real Madrid and defending a goal. And again, Miss Alana here has a good YouTube channel. I think if you haven't, you should go check it out and make sure to subscribe to her channel. She has great content, a great individual also. I've gotten to know her well. She's a good friend. And I say go check out her channel. Bobby Fergie says for Madrid, I'd go with a similar formation as we did against Southampton 4-3-1-2 with Alonso, Rudiger, Thiago Silva. James, what position do you intend playing, James? Cover, Kante, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Werner, and Havertz. Again, I wouldn't risk James. Oh, was that really the formation? Okay. Maybe, yeah, I think that's a possibility. Maybe as the game started, we switched the formation. I think that's probably what happened, given how Ruben Loftus-Cheek operated on that day. So that's a possibility. That's the case. I think maybe in transition, we switch the system. Must start as Rudy, Havertz, Mount, and Ziyech. I don't think Ziyech may well not start that game, even though I'd like him to start. But the question is, who do you bench here? Which of the players here do you remove from the front three to accommodate Ziyech? Mount did very well. Werner was brilliant on the day and could have scored at least 4 goals. Havertz was brilliant that day. He scored just a single goal, but his pressing was brilliant. His interplay with his team was brilliant. So who do you take of? Let me know if you're in the chat. Let me know who makes way if you really want to start Ziyech on that day. Says Pulisic is not in good form. Yep, and not really. I wouldn't say he's not in good form. I think he was good until the international break. Probably he came back late, and the fact that those that started in his absence have done well, and he didn't really. I think he played against Brentford and he didn't do well, but I wouldn't say it's not. I wouldn't say it's a form thing. I think the whole team underperformed on the day. It's not there. Can you send again? Okay, I'll send it again. Maybe it affected the whole thing. Oh, but you're already on the panel, Nick. Titi said we played 3 midfielders to overwhelm sent 2 sixes. So it makes sense. So Fairview was correct. Yep. Thank you very much. Nick Blue is at the top in the box. Ziyech and Rhys James. We'll see who comes on. So Nick, over to you. You were saying something about how important that we, take our chances when they come. Because if we miss the chances and they get a chance, they will most definitely put them away. Again, your thoughts, Nick?
Yes, I'm just saying it's not the chances, it's a chance. The first chance we get, we have to score.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to win this game. It could come early, it could come late in the second half. As long as we keep them out and we manage to score that goal and go in at half-time 1-0 up, we have every chance in the world. It's up to us. Forget their great players. Benzema, Vinicius, all of them. It's up to us. If we come out 150%, which I really trust the players, they'll be up for it. We have every chance. I'm very optimistic that we can do this. Yeah,
but you seem to be calling for the start of Trevor Chalobah or Cesar Azpilicueta in the right centre-back position.
Yeah,
can you explain why, even after explaining to you that I don't think Karim Benzema's 2 goals in 3 minutes were by accident, it was by design. They knew we were poor, given the players we had at the back then, that we're going to be poor aerially.
Yeah, I was thinking about Chalobah because, he can score. All right, he has his faults, but, when he's on form, he's very good, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
and he can go. He can defend. He can defend in the box as well. He's not afraid to go into the tackle or go up for the headers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it. But the only thing what's wrong is he hasn't played for 4 weeks. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's another huge factor. That one of the big that's main reasons why I don't think he'd start. He'd probably be on the bench. But go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, most probably he will be on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have the players to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if Aspi it's not 100%, if we go for Christensen, I don't mind, because I don't think Christensen will have a bad game like he did in the first leg. I think hopefully that's a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
We know when he plays good, he can stop Real Madrid's attacks. It's up to every single player. It's gonna be hard. It won't be easy, but it's not impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you go ahead, Nick, and talk about the importance of us maintaining 100% concentrating 150, if you ask me, until the end of the game. Let me set up something so that we can build what we think the lineup will be. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have to be not 100%, 150%. We can't afford to for any little slip, any mistakes, because if we make a mistake, a bad pass, and Real Madrid are through, they're more likely to score. So we can't afford any mistakes. It's up to us. We have nothing to lose. We have to take that attitude. We have nothing to lose. Even if we don't go through, the players tried, they gave everything, then we can't moan about it. All I want to see is them giving it everything, like I know previous Chelsea teams have. Even when we lost, but they gave everything. Had all just praise for that. So it's not just it's about winning, yes, but if the team gives everything, you can't moan about it. So I'll be praying for them.
Yeah, I think we can win this one again. We've proven that we can do that before in 2012. We've talked about the game already. I think same result, but in the second leg we were able to overcome the deficit, score even more to win the game. I hope that will be the case tomorrow. We're capable of doing that. The area where I'm concerned is just the mentality of the player and the average age of our players. They seem to not be able to deal situations where I don't know how else to phrase it. I hope that's not the case tomorrow. Sometimes, usually, when you think they'd be able to achieve something, they end up not being able to do so. But that's by the way. And given Nick's suggestion, I don't think this. I'm just. This is I have to restructure this. But Nick, tell me again. Let's talk about it while I try to fix the lineup. Chul, would you, for any reason, not start Werner after that performance on that day?
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't. I'll tell you why. Against Southampton, it's a different proposition. Real Madrid is not Southampton, so don't let's get that mixed up.
But you gotta give him credit, Nick.
Oh yeah, he was my man of the match for that game. That is one game. And he hasn't shown us before, what he can do.
But then again, Nick, it takes a game for a player to break out, and I think he did well enough, and he was, he looked rejuvenated in that game. He was all through the game.
I still wouldn't. I wouldn't start him ahead of Pulisic or Ziyech right now, not for this game. FA Cup semi-final, yes, I would start Werner, but not for this one. Because we can't afford for him to hit the post or the bar when he gets that chance. He has to go in against Southampton. He got 2 goals, one to tap in, the other one was a great run. But the other, he had chances to easily get a hat trick. All right,
He could have easily scored 4 goals, actually.
Yeah, he was unlucky. He hit the post, he hit the bar. But still, in this game on Tuesday, we can't afford to hit the bar or the post. We just can't afford to.
But we must recognize it wasn't by design. I think he was just unlucky.
I know that, but we know what he's like. We know we see Werner miss open goals. Well, my grandson can score easily. Anyone, we've seen him miss open goals. How many open goals he's missed this year? Don't forget all that.
Yeah,
he had a great game. He had a great one game in 2 years. He had one great game, really. So you can't go by the Southampton game.
Yeah, I get your argument, but we'll see what happens. So I think right now we'll go straight into predicting what we think that selecting the lineup we think Thomas Tuchel will play on that day. But that's by the way, and we're hoping that he will play 3-4-1-2. And again, the game starts and they may switch back to 4-3. What's the formation that Bobby Fabian talked about here? I think that happens too. So let's get before I want to say everybody seemed to not be in support of Christensen starting on that day, but I think that he's our best option. I don't want to keep repeating myself. If we start Cesar Spilicueta, Reece James.
It depends on Aspie. I'm sure if Aspie is ready to go, Tuchel will play Aspie.
I don't think so. Aspie isn't good really. And I don't think Tuchel will risk starting Aspie or Reece James in that position. That will weaken us really.
I disagree with you there. Aspie is made for this game. I'm telling you.
Okay, we'll see. I hope whoever starts, all I want is for us to win. I want to recognize the presence of Almighty Blues FC. Great channel, great content. It's become a brother overall. And if you haven't, please go check out his channel. And I bet you will not be disappointed. My front three, Mount, Hakim, Havertz, and Ziyech. It's not really good that after that performance against Southampton, people still do not want to, see Werner start that game. Second leg away, we haven't turned a 2-goal deficit. It was at home versus PSG in 2004 too. But it's possible, as Ajax showed in 2019 versus Real. Yep. So again, we can do that, but we need to, again, more importantly, play with balance. Balance the defense versus attack, and not just focus on the other and forfeit the other one. Then we have a risk. But before you says Ziyech and Pulisic have not shown enough in the last 2 games to justify a start. Again, that's a good argument. That's why I'd rather keep those that started against Southampton. Again, let's see. Even Napoli was at home, but we got to take inspiration. Surprised by Tuchel's quotes. Almost gave up to be frank. We'll see what happens. Okay, now let's get into it. For you, if you're in the chat, let us know. Who's the goalkeeper for you? For me, I'd say Mendy. What do you say, Nick Blue?
Yeah, Mendy for sure. You can't replace Mendy right now.
Yeah, Mendy, and again, he made one good save against Southampton, and the fact is, I was one of those calling for him at least to drop.
It was a world-class save, by the way.
Yep. It wasn't a miss; it was really a save, and you got to give him credit where it's due. Though I had issues with his lapses in concentration in terms of playing out with his feet, he's made those in a few consecutive games. So I was one of those calling for him to drop to the bench because he's made a few mistakes. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I said no. Even if he made the mistakes, he's still our best goalkeeper. So he keeps his place.
Yeah, but I think if he continues at the time, Tuchel himself will give up. That's just the truth. This is football. We can't be behind them for to the detriment of the team. So Ryan will pack the bus. I don't think so. I don't think they would do so. 3 Rudiger. Okay, Rudiger. I think we can all agree. But there's something I'm sensing now. And unfortunately, we have no better option than Rudiger. I think Rudiger is looking tired mentally and otherwise.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said he's tired. He plays in every single game.
Yep.
because
He's starting to look a bit tired.
we don't have a replacement, for Rudiger. Rudiger is if not the best player this season, he's very close. Him and Silva. For me, it's out of them three: Kovacic, Rudiger, or Silva for the best player of the season. It's gonna be one of them.
Yeah. I think he's starting to look a bit tired mentally and otherwise. I think he needs a bit of a break to refresh and recuperate very well. But unfortunately, we don't have a better replacement for him, especially when we're playing three at the back system. I think he needs to start. Hopefully, he's well rested and ready to go tomorrow. Play two Thiago Silva, that's for sure. I'm coming. Do we get a 5 subs? I'm not sure the number of the subs. Why this fixation on the headers simply cut out the crosses? Yeah, it's not cutting it out. It doesn't have to come from the flanks too. That's the thing. For instance, Benzema's second goal did not come from the flank. It came from Modric, who was literally in the center of the midfield. Yes, let me correct it. Let me make it clear again. Thiago Silva, as good as he is, isn't the best really in terms of defending crosses that's in the air or corner kicks on that, and that's one of his weaknesses, but he's not the worst. So my fixation there is that if we play Reece James at the right centre back position or Cesar Azpilicueta, we'll be weakened even more in terms of dealing with aerial balls. That's just my point. And we don't want that to happen. And we're playing against those who's come to see that's really a weakness for us. And we're playing with a coach who Thiago Silva has played under, who understands it's a weakness on our end. And if you see look at Modric's cross, that is the ball he put in for Benzema to score. He didn't even have to look up. He just had to put it in there. That to me, 2-headed goals in under 3 minutes or 3 minutes plus. It wasn't by accident. It was by design. They knew we suffer from that, but that's by the way. We'll see. This says, I bet you Real will pack the box. I don't think they would do so, Flavio. And Flavio, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you here as such, and I'm asking you, appealing to you to please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We've gained a few subscribers today, but I'm looking for us to gain at least 20 subscribers today. That would do the channel a world of good. He says, Rudiger, okay, here we can say Silva. Nick, how about you?
Yeah, Rudiger, Silva for sure. They're going to be playing, and the right back position. Like I said, I fancy Aspi, but if he's not 100%, it will be Christensen. So I'm going for Aspi. If he's fit, I'm still going for Aspi.
Yeah, again, what we need to consider is Tuchel usually isn't the type to rush players back from injury. Yeah, but I don't think Aspi will start, but I think it will be.
This is different. This game is different. If it was any other game, Aspi wouldn't be played. He wouldn't be rushed back. But this one, because he's our captain, he's our leader, and he knows Real Madrid more than any other player on this pitch. So that's why I have Aspi my choice. But I can see Christensen playing, yes, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think for the number 4 position here, who the guys in the chat, let us know who you think will start. I think Christensen will play. Why? Because Chalobah hasn't played for a while. Also, plus Cesar Azpilicueta just returning from injury.
Yeah,
and
don't
also
forget,
you must.
One more thing, Coach. It's not a physical injury. It's COVID. It's like a cold.
Yeah, it's COVID. The COVID can weaken you.
Yeah,
the COVID
it wasn't that bad. He just got the symptoms. It's not that bad. So you can't go on that. I think Aspi will start.
You think Aspi will start?
Yes.
Okay, let's do a poll. Whoever wins, let's see. Let's use the poll to find out who the people here will start. We just ask a question there so that we'll make sure the people's choice wins. Who starts?
Christensen or Aspi?
RCB. Christensen or Aspie. Okay, let me say Christensen and then Aspie here. Let's see what happens. Christensen, Aspie. Let's get the people's choice and say, okay, that's a poll. So we're gonna leave that position for a bit while you answer your questions. Give us your thoughts. And he says, big up to you, Glenn. Nice to see you. Let's say lateness is greatness, and also better be late than never.
Coach, well, the chat a bit mixed up. They think Aspie is not traveling. Aspie is in the squad. He's traveling. That was news from Tuchel this morning. So he's in the squad, for a reason. If he was so bad,
go ahead.
If he was so bad the COVID, he wouldn't be traveling to Madrid. So he's not. Anyways, you lot can choose, but for me, it's Aspie over Christensen any day of the week.
Okay, he says here, True Blue says, Rudiger is fast and like Kante ETC. You want 200K plus a week. Get used to playing weekly. I agree with you in terms of get used to playing weekly due to how much you earn. But football is not the same thing as sitting in an office where you go home, you work 7 days a week. But this is, you can say, a physical sports where you run for 90 minutes plus, and you also train every week again. But my point here is this: in terms of Rudiger being tired, he's being overplayed. And he's a human being after all. And if you don't rest him, eventually he will burn out. And things could get worse for us if he gets injured or burns out. So I think it's important, the slightest of spaces we can find, we should give Antonio Rudiger a rest so that he be at his best when we use him again. I get your point. If they earn that much money, they should get used to playing weekly. But my point is, he's been overplayed, if you ask me. But that's by the way. Glenn says, big up people. No starving players. I wouldn't say that because our sixes didn't perform. That's another thing. Yeah, our sixes on that day. I think great point there, True Blue. Our sixes during the first leg did not do well. They didn't do well to protect the defense. They didn't do well even going forward also. So the Real Madrid midfield on that day were able to, operate with impunity, like I've said before. So, yeah, but we don't need that to happen in the second leg because that game, if you ask me, was won from the midfield. Yes, one of the goals came from a cross from the flanks by Vinny. Again, I'd say still the game was won in the midfield. Aspie, I think, was saying, has Aspie even trained? That's a question from Declad. Aspie of Tuchel said it himself. COVID not allowed to travel. Christensen has to start ahead of Aspie. He has to, for obvious reasons. He's good at better aerially. Plus, he didn't do bad during the last game. Plus, Aspie just returning, even if he's traveling with the team. I don't think Thomas Tuchel will start him. And Thomas Tuchel has shown time and time again he doesn't rush players back when returning from injury. Tuchel said Aspie is flying out. Okay, good. But that's no guarantee he will start. We've seen that before. Reece James, I wouldn't play Reece James in that position. Aspie missed one game. This COVID is mild. Some don't even have symptoms. Okay, good argument. A key to winning centre back. Okay, let me check the poll and see what people decided. So Christensen got 62%. So Christensen here. So going to the 260s for me, Kante here. Your thoughts, Nick Blue? And if you're in the chat, let me know who do you think will start as one of the 260s on the left-hand side, especially. Kronos Dan says, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Kante for sure. There's no debate there. And Kovacic next to him. No debate.
So you think Kovacic and N'Golo Kante, for people in the chat, who you think will be the 260s? For me, I'd say Kante and Kovacic. If you're in the chat, let us know who you think will be the 260s. I don't think Jorginho gets a chance here. He was awful in the first leg, so I don't think Thomas Tuchel will risk it. Let me see if people have said anything here. I'm looking at the chat here. anything here. And we have 37 likes so far. At least let's shoot for at least 40 likes. If we can get 100, that's fine. But at least let's shoot for 50. We can get 50 likes. Cover Kante for me. I think that's Glenn saying that. Glenn says Cover Kante. I wouldn't switch up the team against Southampton too much. Besides recent, and yeah, it makes sense not to change so much. After all, in football, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And if you feel the players again, they're high on confidence, I think that will go a long way. And I will not risk playing Jorginho in that game because we lost the first leg due to the weakness in our midfield. So it would be a serious risk of playing J5 there. But I see Conan of Flavio suggesting we play J5. I don't think that will happen. Kronos Dan says, cover Kante, we need a pace, and J5 doesn't give us quick passes and gets out of tight spaces. Yep, he doesn't give that. I think the best person to help us beat the press is Mateo Kovacic. I think he's the best we have in terms of doing that. So these are the two selections. And for the left wing back position, I think Alonso, he did well enough in that game to start. And again, given the fact that Kante is on the pitch, and especially Kante being on the left-hand side here, I think Alonso will be just fine operating here. Again, the primary, I've said this like a billion times, the primary responsibility of our left wing back players, left wing back and right wing back players aren't to defend. They're more likely to do more in the attacking area than the defensive area. But yes, if they're expected to also support the team defensively. Nick, your thoughts? So if you're on the chart, let us know your choice for the left wing back position and your choice for the right wing back position. Okay, in the chat I can see Alonso. I would have gone with Kante, but not with empty stomach. Whew. That raises a great question here. And again, how do I forget? When do they break fast? Even at that, I think still, even if you break fast and eat, still you lack energy to some measure because you haven't eaten. You have to eat earlier for your body to be replenished with fresh energy. So if you just break fast minutes so before the game starts, then it wouldn't be enough to help you through. So I think that makes a good argument there. But I still think he'd start cover Kante for me. He says, if either Kante or Rudiger are fasting for Ramadan, do not use that language. You do not want them because it comes across as some people might read it the wrong way. I'd say if they're fasting, I'd rather start some other players there because fasting, again, you have to eat earlier and on time enough for your body to process the food you've eaten and then replenish the energy you need to perform on that day. But I don't know when they break their fast. If they break their fast early enough, then I think we'll be good. It depends. Alonso will peg Valverde right back. I think he can because here's the thing about Marcos Alonso. Opposition defenders, even though Alonso isn't the quickest, Alonso isn't the best defensively, opposition defenders are well aware that he's good aerially. They're well aware he has such a good left foot that if you give him a chance, he'd find the back of the net. And he strikes the ball so well. I think I usually like to say that Alonso is a striker in the clothing of a defender. I think he is such a fine finisher too. They break fast by then. When you say by then, Declan, what do you mean? Can you please elaborate so we understand if we can say strongly that they'd be ready to play in that game? Please let us know. Again, we have 37 likes. Let's shoot at least for 50 likes in the next 10 minutes. If you haven't, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Declan, I want to know what you mean by then. Do you mean that a day before or that which is today, or do you mean like hours before? because if it is just a few hours, just like 2 hours, or let me say an hour before the game, I think breaking fast that early. I do fast myself, or every now and then, the Christians do fast too. If I fast, then that's if you break your fast like just an hour before, then the food you eat then will not be properly processed and will not. There won't be time enough for you to. That is the food to be processed and your system replenish the energy you need to perform in the game. It depends on how soon they break the fast. Let me see. Kante here says, Glenn says, Kante doesn't need food. He lives off of a smile and love. That is just beautiful. And I think that is the best thing that I've seen. He lives off of smiles and love. And I think that's the best statement I've seen about N'Golo Kante. And I thank you for that, Glenn. I think I'm going to use that also. Let me see also here. It says, Steve Chelsea, I think Tuchel will go for it. There's nothing to lose. We have quite a lot to lose, like Melissa have stated here. We have the trophy to lose because we're the defending champions. Alonso cannot track back quickly. That's not a big problem when N'Golo Kante is on the pitch. N'Golo Kante then has to play cautiously. Okay, here says Steve Alonso, and they break the fast 15 minutes before the game. Yeah, that's where the issue is. Had it been you could say an hour or 2 hours earlier, then that's not a problem. But before 15 minutes before the game, I don't think whatever they eat will be processed soon enough to help replenish the energy they need. So that's, but that's, we don't know. I hope they perform well. Steve Alonso is a goal scorer. Yeah, he is. Sundown Madrid at 8:43 p.m. and then 9 p.m. Yeah, just around 15 p.m. Yep. They can eat quick, fast digesting food regardless. He won't be on complete empty stomach. Yeah, I understand, but still, he will not be 100%. Nick, your thoughts are not to come across. Let's be careful how we address this issue because the fact that our players are fasting, N'Golo Kante, Antonio Rudiger, do you think it will still end the fasting like we learned here from, what's that statement here? Here, shut down at Madrid. I think he says something that they break the fast around 15 minutes before kickoff. Do you think we should risk starting Antonio Rudiger and N'Golo Kante?
Yeah, I see. I done it before. Last time they had us, you played well. So for me, you hear me?
Yeah, Nick, you're breaking up. You might want to go out and come back in again. Yes, and Benzema should. Okay, go ahead. And this comment, yeah, Benzema should be fasting as well because he is Muslim. That's a good argument. So, but I think I'm banking on what Declan said here. What is it again? Yeah, he should be fasting too because he's Muslim. Declan said they can eat quick or fast digesting food regardless. He won't be on a complete empty stomach while playing. I think that's a good argument. He is a cool and great guy, and I know he will do it for us. Again, I hope that God gives him the strength after all his fasting, and to be magnificent on that day. Because if N'Golo Kante shows up at the party, Chelsea usually do well. So I hope that's the case on that day. So now let's look at here who plays behind the two front men up front, because I think that's the structure that they two of them who plays behind the two attackers, the two number nines, if you want to phrase it that way. I think Mason Mount, he executed that role very well, and I think he should start in that position again. Nicky, whenever you come back on, I'll ask you again, who do you think plays that Mount? Yep, he played very, very well there. Even I think he was, again, less selfish than usual, because my complaint about Mason Mount is that we could have scored more goals last season had it been, even under Frank Lampard, had it been less, less selfish as it's been before. And this is Kronos down saying Mount. Yes, I agree, Mount. Conan Flavius says Ziyech for me. I think Ziyech operates better when he plays on the on the wing and not as a number 10. Although he can execute the number 10 role very well, but I think I don't think he'd start on that day, and I think Mount starts. Chichi Eze Keduka I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well, and pardon me speaking my dialect to my dear sister Chichi Eze. Good to see you here, sister. I hope you're fine. Now, we also have Phantom saying Mount Alonso Silva will be the 3-goal scorers. I hope whoever scores, I take it. All I want is for us to get a win. I'm going to bring back Nick soon to let us know. Nick, your thoughts on what you were saying. The fact that Rudiger will be fasting and will break the fast just 15 minutes before kickoff. Same thing as N'Golo Kante, even Mendy too. I think Mendy is Muslim, right? So, but in the goalkeeping position, you said that wouldn't be an issue. But your thoughts on those?
Yeah, it's happened to them before that past and it didn't affect them last time. So I'm trusting them to be okay. They can still start whoever finish their passes or what. We have no choice.
Yeah, we have no choice then to start them. Again, that's huge because our beliefs come first. We even believe that the higher power that we believe in are the reason why we're doing as good as we're doing. If you're deeply religious, that's the case. As a Christian, I do believe in higher power, and I do believe sometimes they drive my success or whatever. They're the reasons why I do well. One of the reasons why I do well in whatever I do. But that's, by the way, I think the boat was to start. Hopefully, like the Clark suggested here, they eat fast digesting food and we'll be all right. But yeah, that's by the way. So, Nick, the number 10 man for you, who do you think will start in that position?
Mason Mount will be there. For me, it's Mason Mount.
Yeah, he was brilliant in that position. And it says player number 10, Werner plays up. Let me read that again. Werner number 10 here, Werner here, and the other one, Havertz. Yeah, I think if you're in the chat, let us know if you agree with this. And Havertz here, I think that's it. And again, we must remember the application during play may well be different. They may, because yesterday, like Bobby Fairview pointed out, I think it was 4 at the back, or maybe in attack it was 3 at the back. Then for defending, we switched to 4 at the back position. Nick, your thoughts before I go ahead?
Yeah, I think, like I said, for me it's going to be Mason Mount, and that finally be Havertz, and alongside him be either Pulisic or Ziyech. Either one. Both will be Pulisic. For some reason, I have a feeling Pulisic.
Okay. Yeah, Nick, you're breaking up again, but I'm going to keep talking to the people in that. Ziyech is Muslim. Yeah, I know Ziyech is Muslim, but I don't think he'd start this game. Given the performance of those players that played against Southampton, I don't see Thomas Tuchel making too many changes, that's for sure. I think he'd stick with I think the only thing that I see him making here will be Reece James coming on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And for me, I wouldn't even change that because he operated very well. And in-game, during I think you could say hybrid. He operated mainly inside. He didn't really hug the flanks that much. Nick had to go back again because he has to go back and come back in so we can hear him very well. Tommy Werner always looking for a burner. As Ruben Loftus-Cheek passing to, no, he's not. That's not the argument. What my argument is that he executed that role better than Reece James did. And Chichi Eze says, I am nervous for this game. For some reason, I'm actually not nervous. We've done that before, but I'm not overly confident either. I understand how difficult of a game it will be on that day. And here's the good news. I am usually concerned whenever Chelsea is preparing for a game and we hear the Chelsea fans going, we're going to beat them 4-0, we're going to beat them 10-0, we're going to beat them 6-0, and then you better go not watch that game because usually when that happens, you see Charity FC phenomena kick in and we'll end up losing. But the fact that we, the fans, recognize that this is a difficult task, we recognize that it's not going to be easy, and the players themselves recognize that it's not going to be easy, I think I'm hopeful. Because when you realize, when you know, yes, you have a problem, then you've solved 50% of the problem. But when you don't recognize that you have a problem, then you haven't started solving your problem. So the fact that we understand how difficult of a task this is, which that gives me hope, it makes me understand, yes, I think we can do this because we're going to the game not taking anything for granted, understanding that we have work to do. And I like Thomas Tuchel comment when he said, no, it is done. It is over. I understand that it's a psychological statement because we have a very young team that there's a way you talk to them. There's a way you know, if you give them the opportunity, they still, feel like, okay, we can do it, and not really put the shift in to get it done. So again, my point is the fact that we recognize how difficult of a task this is gives me hope. Yes, I see Nick Conor Flever says Ziyech for his longer range shooting. We're going to need that. I think we're going to need that. But then again, who do you drop given that performance against Southampton? Who do you drop to bring in Ziyech here? I see it's difficult. Nick, the link is pinned at the top of the stream. Just scroll to the very top. You will see it. I think you should see it there again. But I'm going to send it again there. So the question is, if you want to start Ziyech, who do you drop? And I have to be honest, for the game against Southampton, I wasn't happy that I did see Ziyech in the lineup because I know what he brings. I think at this point, he could argue he's one of our best creative players in terms of creating chances. And in terms of shooting from the outside 18, he's one of the best also. But the fact is, given this performance and how well these players did on that day, who would you bench to bring in Ziyech? I think it's difficult to say. Again, if he starts, I think he still do well. But the problem is, if the formation looks like this, let me find the correct one. If the formation is like this, I think I wouldn't want Ziyech as a number 10 here. He does better operating on the wings. Nick, you were saying something before that you had any connection issue.
Yeah, I was saying, I think it's going to be Pulisic on the left of Havertz, Mount behind them. That's what I think the top three will be. Ziyech, all right, Ziyech, I think he'll be on the bench, and in some stage he will come on. I can see, it depends on the game how he's going, and even I can see Jorginho coming on if we actually leveled the game and we're winning the game. I can see Jorginho coming on to kill the game off, even. So we have a strong bench, so it's good.
Yeah, we have a very strong bench, and don't be surprised if Ziyech starts because Thomas Tuchel is very unpredictable in terms of.
That's the thing. We can all be wrong. I know, but this is what I think myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a good thing there. And why would I did? I think since we're done with the lineup, if you're in the comment section, if you have any questions regarding the game or regarding the sale of the club, shoot it, and we will try to address it because the Blue Morning Show remains a marathon show until the sale of the club is over. Then we'll reduce it to 30 minutes to a 1 hour show. It says, again, I have to let you know, Chichi Eze is one of the queens of the house. Chichi Eze, TC, Chichi Eze, TC, Just Viola, and also, we have another queen of the house, Melissa, also has become a queen of Chelsea Perspective. And she eventually will become a Chelsea fan. I believe that. Chichi, as it says, I'm not sure I want a Ziyech starting. Yet he hasn't done well of late, and he hasn't played. But then again, I must let you know, I wasn't happy that when I didn't see him in the lineup for the game against Southampton. And when he came on, he tried, but I think he was off the mark. If you look at him, you see something is really off there. Just really saying, hey, Coachila and Pana, big up to you. Lateness is greatness to say, and better late than never. So nice to see you that you find time to join us here, Queen. I won our Champions League final front three, which was, who was it again that played the final front three? Remind me. I know Havertz was there, and also Timo was there. Who was the other person in the front three? Was it Mount?
Pulisic.
And no, Pulisic didn't start the final.
Which final are you talking about?
Yeah, Chichi, as it says, she went our Champions League final front three. That to me I think it was Mount.
Yeah, Mount.
So probably, yeah, what we're looking at here on the screen, I think was what it was that day. It was Mount, but I'm not sure. I can't remember the structure for that game. But the front three was Werner, Havertz, and Mount. They started the Champions League final for us. Hey, everyone in the chat. Yep, I no longer went as the year started. I wouldn't put it that way. I think something happened. I think he had a knock or so. I think he remains, our best in terms of creativity. I think he's the best there. We don't have any other person that can split the defense open with some great passes like he does, and he shoots better than most of the players there. I would drop Werner. He's only good versus Southampton. Again, that's a good argument given the fact that I don't recall the percentage exactly, but most of his goals for Chelsea Football Club, quite a lot of them. I don't want to say a number, but I think it's more than 30% or so has come against Southampton. But again, that performance yesterday was just brilliant. I think he's done enough, for him to start against Real Madrid, most especially Madrid at home. I don't know why everybody's saying that they're going to sit back. I don't think they will sit back. I think they're a very proud club. They'd like to outplay us at home. They'd like to be dominant at home. They'd like to show that they're better than us, especially what we did to them last season. Nick, your thoughts on that, on the argument that Real Madrid will sit back?
Yeah, I don't see them sitting back. They no way they're going to sit back. They're going to try and they're going to try and get that goal, because they know if they get that goal, they're through. So they will play their game. They won't sit exactly. They're going to be cautious, of course. But they're not going to sit back like a Newcastle or teams like that who play against us. I don't see that happening, especially at their ground with their fans driving them on. No, they won't do that. They're going to play. It's going to be a very hard game. They will go for it like we will. It's going to be, one of those games. So that they get the goal. It all matters who gets the first goal. As much as it matters for us more, but it matters for them as well. So I can't see them sitting back. No.
And if you're in the chat, let us know this argument that Real Madrid will sit back at home. Let us know if you think Real Madrid will sit back, whether they come at us. Just let us know. And because I've asked that, I think I've heard a lot of people saying that they're going to sit back and try to hit us on the counter. I don't think so. Like I've mentioned, they are a very proud club and would want to show us that they're better than us, most especially after what we did to them this last season. So if you're in the chat, let us know whether you think Real Madrid will sit back or whether you think they, attack us. Kante and Kovacic, so the midfield would be fast. Yes, exactly. We want a quick transition from the defense to the midfield and to the attack. We want it to be really quick. We don't want this, the pace of the game to be slow, because the slower the game is, the more it suits the way Real Madrid would want us to play. And we don't want that. And plus, when you have Kovacic and Kante, we have a better protection for our defense in terms of because, you could argue Jorginho reads the game very well, but sometimes even when he reads the game very well, physically sometimes opposition midfielders can muscle him. And in terms of pace, he usually probably can't do anything but try to foul the player, or maybe cannot reach the place on time to stop the player. So with Kova, who's quick, Kante, who's also quick, and also can put in some great tackles. I think we'll have a good protection for our defense. And also our transition will also be quick, and we cover situation on the pitch would be able to beat opposition press because he can dribble his way or play his way out of tight spaces. So I'm going to go ahead with the comments in the chat, and I'll come back to you in a bit again, Nick. True Blue, anything that affects the performance of a decision is fair topic. And right now, yes, we've beaten that. We are at 53 likes. Let's try and shoot for 100 likes, people. We can do that, and we still have some minutes to go before the show ends. So please, let's try and hit 100 likes. And if you haven't, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We've gained a few subscribers today. Let's try and get at least 20 subscribers today. If we get 100, I'll take it. But let's keep going. This is Josuela trying to say hello to Chichi as my Nigerian sister, an Igbo to be precise, trying to say hello to her in an Igbo language. I think that's correct, and deal with Chichi. And thank you for speaking our dialect, Josuela. You're welcome to even visit whenever you can. Pulisic and Ziyech should come on from the bench. That's a possibility. But then again, this lineup from us is, which is speculating, Thomas Tuchel will never cease to amaze us in terms of when you think player A starts, he fields player B. Nick, I'm going to come back to you quickly before I go back to the chart. Do you think it's a good thing that Thomas Tuchel is unpredictable in terms of his selection and in terms of the application of his lineup? Because the fact is, thanks to Bobby Fairview who brought that up too. The fact is, we saw before the start of the game, we saw this structure here, which is which we thought was going to be 3-4-2-1. But during the play, at times we saw 3-4-1-2, and at times we saw 4 at the back also. Do you think the fact that he's unpredictable in terms of lineup and otherwise, you think it's a good thing?
Yeah, it's a bit of both, really. Look at the Southampton game. When we saw the lineup, I was scared. I was like, God, Werner, Loftus-Cheek, Christensen, when they play so bad, on Wednesday. When I saw that lineup, I was a bit scared. But Tuchel is Tuchel. He knows what he's doing. End of the day, all right. He got 2 games wrong a bit. Plus the players wasn't on it, but he did get he got some things wrong. Putting Aspie in that game. Putting Aspie left wing back. That was completely wrong. I think he knows what to do. He does. Everyone makes mistakes, but I trust him, and he can prove us. He can prove us all wrong with the lineup and have Chalobah and nothing will surprise me.
If my memory serves me right, you were actually saying we're going to lose the game because of the lineup.
Yes, I was. I was a bit scared, but I still predicted a 2-0 win. End of the day, but. Yeah, I was scared because when I saw that lineup, it didn't seem, right. But it proved me wrong. We were going to win 6-0. So whoever he puts out there, I trust him.
We didn't just win 6-0. I think you could argue that must be one of the best performances under his reign. I know. I think the only time I've seen us play that good was against Norwich. And they could have been, go ahead.
Could have been a 10-0 easily. We were 6-0 goals up, and we had still half an hour to play or more. So it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. Yep.
But I always trust Tuchel. End of the day, he's a top manager.
Let me go back to the comment. I'll come back to you again.
Yeah. What you say?
All right. Thank you, Nick. Okay, I'll come back to you again. Catherine says, at least if they could score, the first goal, that's important. The first goal is important. Whoever scores first has the higher chances of, emerging the winner of the 2-leg game. I think it's important that we score the first goal because if we concede, conceding means conceding compounds, the task we already have at hand, which is to overcome the deficit and score more to win carry the day. You wanted to say something, Nick?
Yeah, I said, Yeah, it's right. We need the first goal. If we don't get the first goal and they score, we have to say we're out. It's gonna be too
Mhm.
difficult after that. So I just want them to perform mostly. Yeah, of course it'd be beautiful to go through,
Mhm.
but if we perform, then I can be proud of them. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's important. We perform because FA Cup semi-final on Sunday. So I
Mhm.
want these players to perform and come out at Wembley with their heads held high, not down. You know. So the
Yeah.
performance is really important tomorrow.
Yeah. Just to digress a little bit. What do you think about Patrick Vieira's push for the FA to allow
Oh
Conor
yes,
Gallagher to play against us?
yeah, yes, yeah. I get his point. He's one of the best. He's not one of the best. He's their best player. And of course, Chelsea. It'd be good for Gallagher. I understand. What Vieira saying. But he's saying it
Mm.
for because he's one of their best players. They will have no chance to beat us with Gallagher. But and I understand Chelsea. Chelsea are not that stupid to let they know how good he is, and they don't want. There's two ways about it. One way, Chelsea should let him play because he's our player. Let him, grace Wembley. If I was Chelsea, the manager, if I was Tuchel or whoever decides, if the board, I will say let him play against us. He's one of our players. Let you have that beautiful opportunity. Next year he's going to be with us. But I will want him to play against us, yes. And I will cheer, I will clap every touch he makes, even if it's against us.
Yeah,
Yes.
and quickly to address this, Chichi as it says, just really, yes, I am starting Timo. I don't think they will pack the bus. Again, I'm going to say this for the 1 million times. Real Madrid are not going to pack the bus at home.
No,
But
no.
here's the thing. If we play good and play really good, then the natural reaction we'll get from them will be they will defend because when the opposition team come at you, the only thing your only option it will be to defend, and then it will look like no, they will not with intent pack the bus. They would like to dominate us at home. They would like to show that they're the better side, most especially given how they lost to us last season, and given that Carlo Ancelotti's future is already hanging in the balance, even though still has the chance to win La Liga and also win the Champions League. But we know how Real Madrid operates in terms of dealing with managers. So I don't think, yeah, she's correct. They will not pack the bus at home. You were saying something, Nick. Yep, that's the point. The Real Madrid fans wouldn't want them to sit
Yeah.
back. If you do that, they will turn
No,
against you,
that's what I said.
most definitely.
Their fans won't allow that. They're
Hmm.
going to be pressure. They'll be screaming at them to go forward. And
Hmm.
we know how much noise these Real Madrid fans make. We saw that at the bridge. They're very noisy. And no way they're going to sit back. That's not going to happen.
No, they're not going to do that at home. Even if they're away, they don't try to do that. The only thing
Yeah.
that will make them seem as if they're sitting back is that if we play them, then the natural reaction will be for them to defend. But that's, by the
Yes.
way, very nervous for the game, says Anna Rose Katerina. To me, for some reason, I'm not nervous. I know I should be. Maybe that will still happen at the moment the game starts. But I have here's one of the reasons why that I'm not really concerned. Again, I've said this before. If you recognize that you have a problem, then you've solved 50% of your problem. If you recognize that the size of the task you must perform to achieve a goal, then you've practically you probably overcome 50% of the task. So the fact that we Chelsea fans and the Chelsea players recognize how difficult it will be to outplay Madrid at the Bernabeu with the fans in the stadium, how difficult it will be to beat them at the Bernabeu in Spain, gives me hope because that means we know it's never going to be easy, which means we'll be even more prepared to do more to win the game. So again, let me go through the chat again. They won't sit back. Yes, many people have said that. Unfortunately, some think that they're going to sit back. I don't think they will do that. And Rose Catherine, I am more than nervous. Oh, calm down, calm down. Calm down. It will be well. Which after like Real Madrid will go full Jose Mourinho. Nope, I don't see that. That's not Carlo Ancelotti for you. If it was Jose, then I would argue no, he wouldn't care. He could care less what the Real Madrid fans thinks. All he would want to do is to achieve a result and say, okay, forget about that. We're through to the semifinals. Isn't that good enough for you? Uh, um, Says Madrid sat back versus PSG at Bernabeu. No, it wasn't something they did intentionally. They were outplayed. So the natural reaction, the natural occurrence would be for it to seem as if they sat back intentionally. It wasn't by design. It was how well PSG played on that day. If you ask me, Madrid would not sit back because they have Benzema and Vini. I don't think they will. Chichi Ezekiel, I'd be better off if we win on Tuesday. Chichi says, if I feel Real will be a lot more cautious, there's a high chance they sit back. Now I'm thinking of it. I'm not. Okay, you win, Chi. I'm not going to talk about that again. I don't think that will happen again. But I'm going to repeat myself one more time. If they sit back, then it will be as a result of how well we're playing, or how we're keeping the ball, how we're pressing them with the ball. So the natural occurrence will be for it to seem as if they are sitting back, but no, all they're doing is defend because we're playing well. I don't know how else to explain that for people to understand what I mean. But that's by the way, and thank you. We got one more new subscriber. That is good to see. And please, if you're watching, if you haven't, do like the video so that a YouTube algorithm will be triggered and will push the video to more people who would be interested in the topic that we're talking about right here. Even if they pack the bus and we score a goal earlier, they will surely be nervous and they will be forced to come out to take more risks, which would be good for us. Sitting back will make Werner a bad choice. Then if they sit back, then we'll be forced to make an early change to bring in a player that would do better in that position. But then again, we must understand that Werner is always in the box. If you can, cross the ball on the carpet, be sure he makes more dynamic runs. He makes dynamic runs. He will, get at the end of the cross and score. But really, that's where I don't trust him that much. If we have other top players, going for the ball too. Andrews, we need to score within the first 20, 30 minutes. In my opinion, they will pull an Atletico and do everything to stall the game. That's towards the end. They will eventually do that. Phantom, did you see a Mourinho 2004-07 side? No, of course. Okay, tell us why you're referencing that period. I think you're bang on with this lineup. I think we're hoping that's the players that Thomas Tuchel will select. But you never know, Thomas Tuchel, when you think player A starts, he fields player B. I hope that's not the case. Now here, he says, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Please do so. We've gained a few subscribers, and we hope to gain even more. And now we have 58 likes. Let's try and shoot for 100 likes at least for the day. We still have a few minutes to go, and we can gain even more subscribers. Nick, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think we said everything about. We said the lineup of we think, and we said what we have to do. We all know what we have to do is get that early goal, or even late in the first half. As long as we go in at half time winning 1-0, then we have a great chance, and that will give us confidence. That's how we're gonna win. That's what I think will happen. We got to get that goal, go in 1-0, and win this game. Either we take it to penalties, or we can win it in extra time anyway. So it's going to be a great game. I think for sure.
It will be, no matter the outcome. I think because we will come out all guns blazing because we want to go. But then again, I must repeat this again. We need to play with balance.
Yes.
We need to play attack, but also we need to pay attention from the defensive aspect of the whole thing. Else, it is a huge risk. So immediately, I'm going to bring in a DJ. So, my brother, how are you doing? And after DJ's first input, I'm going to run the selection for the day. We'll select the contestant for the day for the Roman Abramovich tribute contest, where you get to win $150 if you emerge the winner, if you contest and emerge the winner. DJ, your thoughts? We were talking about what we must do to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in Spain. We know it's a difficult task. And the first point is that we must find balance between defending or attacking, because if we focus too much on either defending, they will come at us quite a lot and we'll eventually score. If we focus on attacking too much, then we will leave ourselves vulnerable at the back, and then they will get a chance to score. So tell me, how important do you think it will be to approach the game with a perfect balance, 50-50, so we don't lose the game?
Yeah, first of all, as always, it's a pleasure to be on your show, Chaz. Big up to Nick Blue and everyone in the comments. Hope you're all well.
Thanks, DJ. Big up to you. Your great comments you make. I really I like your comments all the time.
Yep. Everybody knows how good DJ is. Go ahead, brother.
Listen, listen. Tomorrow, I think what we've got to remember.
DJ, I think you may have to go out and come back in. I think your internet is connection. It's been a very we've all having experience of bad connection. So I'll keep talking while DJ comes back and give us his opinion on why it is important we strike a balance between attacking and defending, not to overdo either, so we don't get into trouble. So here's what you have to type. Type these before we do the draw, so you get a chance to win $150 if you pass the semifinals, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals of the contest for the tribute for Roman Abramovich. You get to win $150. You have to type hashtag Roman Abramovich tribute. I think we have about 5 contestants now. We're looking for 2 more contestants. Is DJ back? He's not back yet. So Nick, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was saying, how important is that first goal. So we have the first half to get it. As long as we keep them out, make sure they don't score. We have to be solid and try and get that goal. And if we do manage that, I can see us winning. If we manage to go in at halftime, imagine the feeling of the players and Tuchel. It's going to be great. And imagine Real Madrid's dressing room. They're going to be scared. If we get that goal, they're going to be so scared they won't know what hit them. And we can go from there and win that game.
Yeah.
Come on, the Blues. We can do it.
Yes, we can. Yeah. We can definitely. And I'll save this comment from Super Tommy Tuchel and then address it in a bit. DJ, your thoughts quickly. And while you're at it, if you're in the chat, I've shown you what you need to type. This is what you need to type. Just like Chichi Eze did here. Roman Abramovich tribute, and if you get selected, I think we'll have 5 participants selected already. We have 3 more to go. If you get picked today, you get to perform with 1 participant, and you also, if you don't want to be on camera, because the rule is that you must be on camera. If you don't want to be on camera, you can transfer your spot to someone else. You participate in the quarterfinals. If you make it to the semifinals and win, you get to the final. If you win, you get $150. And if you get picked, we'll give you more details on the rules of the game. So, DJ, your thoughts on how Chelsea must do, what Thomas Tuchel must do to strike a balance between attacking Real Madrid and defending very well to ensure that we don't get hit on the break, and to ensure we don't concede goals where we're focused on scoring goals.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Crystal clear, brother.
Sorry, bro. Sorry about that.
No problem. It happens. At the time, the people in the chat stopped seeing me. That's how bad my own connection was today. So go ahead, brother.
Listen, as I said, tomorrow's going to be a tough game. I've never said it's not going to be a tough game tomorrow. We just need to go out there tomorrow. If we can keep the crowd down.
DJ, quickly,
crowd
let me correct something. Let me correct something quickly.
Yeah.
I think each word must start with capital letter, just like this. Roman Abramovich tribute. I think so. This is all small letters. So each word, like the first name capital letter, last name capital letter starts it, and also tribute capital letter. So you must type it like that. Go ahead, DJ. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, if we can keep the crowd down for 20 minutes tomorrow, and we can start the game well, and score a goal, I can't see why we can't go all the way in this time. Right? I think people say Manchester United are the only ones to come back from a 3-1 deficit. I think Nick Blue would probably remember this, and you probably would remember this. In 2012, we did.
His connection is still an issue. I hope he comes back.
Yeah, something.
He was kicked out automatically. It wasn't me. Go ahead, Nick. You were saying something.
I said, he's having problems like me. I don't know what's going on today.
It's poor. The connection is poor everywhere. Even mine. At the time, they stopped seeing me.
Yeah, it's something to do with the satellite, I think.
Very possible. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I was saying, like DJ was saying, if we come out, like you said, keep the pressure on them. Don't let the crowd get, behind them too much. Because if we let that happen, it's going to give them more confidence. So we have to make sure we keep that ball, make sure to keep the crowd quiet. And when we get that goal, that first goal, they will be dead. That atmosphere will be gone. That's what we have to try and do. And then, like I said, I can see it happening. I'm really confident with my team. Because I know they can do it. I know I have trust in them. They can do it on the day. We're capable of beating any team in the world. And don't forget, we are world champions. Not just European champions. And I'm sure Tuchel will make them, will tell them that all the way to Madrid. He'll be telling them, you're the world champions, you're the European champions, and don't let anyone take that trophy from you. That's going to be his words. His tactics, that's what it's going to be. We have to do it. We have to just come out and play like we can.
Yeah, again, the most important, the thing here is that I think we have a good enough squad to earn us results on that day. The problem becomes, the only question is the mentality of the players. How strong are they mentally? I think under Thomas Tuchel, correct me if I'm wrong, have there been a time where we were at least not in a two-leg game, or not in the Champions League or in the Premier League? Have there been a time where we were 2 goals or 3 goals down and we came back from it and win the game? But the difference is that this is a Champions League, as it's home and away. So I think that says a lot about the mentality of the players. I hope. Go ahead, Nick. You were saying something.
I was saying, that's what Tuchel be telling the players. Don't let anyone take this away from you, and go out and show what you can do. And I have full faith in this place. And all I want is a performance. So I'm not asking too much. I want a performance and be proud of the team when it comes out at Wembley. That's very important. So it'd be great to win. Don't get me wrong. I'm backing a win. Yeah. But if we do go and lose, and we lose 1-0, I won't go at the press or any single player or nothing. Because I know they've performed and they tried their best. That's what you can ask for as a supporter. Ask your team for the best. When they give you that, then you're proud. So that's
again, deals. If you're looking, sorry, 1 second, Nick. This is how you type it. A Roman Abramovich tribute, capital letter starts each word or name in the hashtag to be part of the selection. And if you haven't, Chichi Eza or Just Viola, please delete my comment. On 2 occasions now I've emerged as the candidate while I shouldn't be participating. It's just me using an example showing the participant, wherever you're watching from. In a few minutes, I'll do the draw to select the candidate for the day. I think the candidate today will make it 6 candidates to participate in the Roman Abramovich tribute contest, and you get a chance to win $150 if you emerge the winner. And the final will be hosted a day after we get to know who is the new owner of Chelsea Football Club. So again, here's the most important rule you must know. The tribute you use for the quarterfinals, you will not use it for the semifinals, and you will not use it for the final, with the exception of some factors such as what he's achieved at the club, some factors such as where he's from or something like that. Those you can repeat, but there are some aspects you must not repeat on every stage. So we'll educate you more on the rules of the contest if you make it, if you're selected. But that's, by the way. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. So that's the most important thing, to get a performance, a great performance.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we lose, and we tried everything, we really tried everything, then even Tuchel will be proud. Chelsea will be proud even if we go out, because we will be back next year. We're going to be in the Champions League, whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be great to win. That'd be something unbelievable to go to Madrid in the Bernabeu and come back from 3-1 and win. That's going to go down in history. That'd be great. That'd be just
great input there.
Yeah,
great input. And if you're watching in a bit, in just about 2 minutes or so, we will do the draw to see who joins the list of contestants that we've selected already. And this is how you type it. I'm going to show it to you again, just as Chichi as I did here, or just I did what Roman Abramovich tribute with the hashtag. That's how you type it. And like Chichi as I did here. So Deals, you have to redo yours. And Deals, I think, has a question here. What type of headphone do I need? You don't need any type of headphone. You just need to hear what the panel is showing you. If you need whatever one you're using, but we just want to see your expression as you're presenting your tribute to Roman Abramovich. You've judged based on your presentation, the context of your tribute and all that. And again, you get to know more about the rules of the contest if you are selected today. Again, even if you're not selected today, we're still going to do it 2 more times so you still have a chance to be selected. Exactly, that's how you type it. And Josviola or Chichi Eze, please be sure to delete my comment so it doesn't add me to the list of our contestants. Savion Dean says, I don't want to be too optimistic. Now, I think the good thing, like I said before, the fans and the players, I think the fan base especially, you can hear how scared we are. We've recognized that we can do it, but the truth is it's not going to be easy. Even those that will say, we've done it before in 2012, I think it was against Napoli, they still say, it's not going to be easy. They got Benzema, they got that. That is huge for me. The fact that we recognize that it's not going to be a difficult task gives me hope. Again, we have to get the job done to even emerge as the winners in the 2-leg competition. So you make a good point. And Savian Dean, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you here. If that's the case, please be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And right now we are at 1,198 subscribers. We need just 2 more subscribers to get to 1,200 subscribers. And I know that can happen. We can pass that milestone today. And because you share the video, because you tell others about the Blue Morning Show, which is a daily Chelsea live update show. We discuss the sales process, and also we discuss matches sometimes. Also, we discuss transfers sometimes. It depends on what's pressing in the community. So let me see. It says, Colonel says, even my connection went down earlier, and I am on a gigabyte broadband. Exactly. I don't know why after you pay all the money, you still get all the crappy connection. And I know at the time you guys stopped, didn't see me anymore. That happens all the time. Roman Abramovich tribute. Jeff Omonde, I think you're missing the hashtag. It would not select you without a hashtag. It has to be typed exactly like that. Let me see. Who else do we have here? And Chichi says, Josviola, cannot delete because it's his. Oh, okay. I would do that myself. If Tuchel didn't start cover, then it's over. Big up Chichi. I agree. I think cover is important. I think he makes a huge difference whenever he's on the pitch for us. Only you. Okay, thank you, Chief, for educating me on that. I would do that in a bit. Now, Coachila, I mean, what type of headphones do I need to come onto the panel? Because I haven't gotten any proper headset. The headphones you need doesn't matter as long as you can hear what is being said. As long as you have a microphone so that we can hear what you're saying. You can always come on. It doesn't matter. The headset you use doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't give a feedback or an echo. If you want to say it that way. Cover deserve to start for his former club. I think for his former club, I think he would want to show them what they're missing. I think he starts. Logitech is a good product if you want to buy one. Come on, guys, let's smash that like button now. Yep, Roman Abramovich tribute. Nick, anything you want to say before I do the draw? And now we have 60 likes, and I know we can do even better. So, but thank you to you guys. You guys are legends. Yeah. It's not possible without you. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. Like I said, everyone has to get behind the team. I know the fans are going to be up for it. The ones who are going to go tomorrow, we're going to have fans there. They're going to make a noise, but I'm sure we're going to hear them because I know our fans how passionate they are, and we just get that goal and keep the Real Madrid crowd down, keep them quiet. Then we have every chance in the world to win this game. I've been saying it since all week, and I'll keep saying it to tomorrow. We have a great chance. Just get one goal. One goal, that's all we need. Forget the 2 goals. Just concentrate on 1 goal. Forget, we
actually need to win. No matter the outcome, we need to win them.
Yeah, we need to win. But
and they beat us 3-1 at home, which means we can
do the same to them. Why can't we do the same?
Yeah, we can, but we need to score even more goals, Nick. We don't want to go to extra time. We want to win on regular time. But I get your point. Go ahead.
It's gonna be hard to do. I'll be happy to get to extra time, and even penalties. As long as we give a performance, so we're proud of, and we win or lose, we help the Chelsea players who have them heads high for Wembley, which is very important. We need that FA Cup. We need to win the semi-final first. Don't forget, Crystal Palace are not easy. They're going to be up for that game, like anything. So it's we got great games to come this week. So come on, this is.
So let me go quickly do the draw, and then we'll come back to the discussion. Go ahead, Nick. Nick, by the way, was given an automatic qualification. Nick was given an automatic qualification, and that's our way of saying thank you to him for bringing us live pictures of the protest at Stamford Bridge on that day. And that day has been one of the biggest days of the channel because we have almost 250 people watching on that day. So thank you again, Nick. That was why we gave him, gave him an automatic qualification for the contest. I will be giving away my spot between. That's fine. Had surgery and still have some difficulty speaking, let alone another language. Okay, understood, bro. You have every right if you win it to give your spot to someone else who would be able to show on camera. And also because we need to be seeing the expression of the presenter. That's fine, brother. Ruben is hot at the moment. Tuchel might start him at that's a possibility. It depends on his game plan. I am quite confident if we get 2 goals and rock them, they could be there for the taking. Yep, possibly. No penalty, please. Yep, I don't want that. Barcelona did it, so we can. Yep, we can too. That's the truth. And this is where. Just missing left wing back again. Yeah, that's a huge area where. And Sam Ballard said Roman Abramovich is apparently interested in buying a Spanish club. I heard that too. So that's to show you how much the man loves the game. But that's by the way. And Sam Ballard, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you here. Please, if you can, I'd appreciate it if you can take some time, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And again, when I looked before, we had 1,199, and now we have 1,200. 201 subscribers. You guys are absolute legends, and I love you guys, and I will do my best not to disappoint you guys. Thank you for 1,201 subscribers, which means we surpassed 20 subs today, I think. You guys are absolute legends. I appreciate your support. That means a lot to me. So let's read this and then do the draw. We must score first. Chelsea is built for the impossible. Up to Chelsea, yes. And at this point, overcoming the deficit and then winning will do us all a world of good, given what we're all going through. So let's start collecting. If you want to participate, this is what. Let me see if the two newcomers would want to participate. Please, let's give them a chance. You type hashtag Roman Abramovich before I start collecting. That way you get a chance to participate in the Roman Abramovich tribute competition, and you get a chance to win $150 if you make it to the final and win it. So I'll give you guys 1 minute to do so. Nick, your thoughts before let's see if the new entrants in the chat would want to participate.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I think we said it all. We chose the team, the players we want. Capital, you want Werner, I want Pulisic. But end of the day, it doesn't matter who plays this game. Every single player in that squad is a great player. Every single player in that squad can perform, can come out, go for it, and show us, like they showed us against Southampton, what we can do when we're on it. All right, it's Southampton, but I know it's only Southampton, but it's still Southampton were very hard to play against, and we struggled against them at the bridge, don't forget. So I just want every single player to give the best. That's all.
Yeah. Let them show up. Let the players show up, and we'll be just fine. And here's one thing I say here. Let me find it. What's it? Says and the work and deserve. People, big up. You all put in the work. Yes, we're doing it together. Deserve. Yeah, I think we will get there. We work together in this channel. And I agree with just the other. Steve Chelsea cries too much. I don't know. He likes to use the cry emoji so much. I don't know why. We love being underdogs. Yes, we try when we're underdogs. So let me go ahead and do the draw so we can round off in a bit. It's been a long stream, 3 hours and 11 minutes plus. Start collecting. We have 6 contestants. And if I emerge their candidate for the day, I will redraw. I couldn't find my message, so I was not able to remove it. So draw. Let's see who gets it. So Glenn is our contestant for the day, so I appreciate that. Glenn, congratulations to you. I think you are our 6th contestant, and you already told us in advance that you would transfer your spots to someone else. Fine, and also help us, do tell people about the contest, the Roman Abramovich contest, where you get a chance to win $150. So Nick, your thoughts, your final thoughts on the discussion for the day and our chances of beating Real Madrid on that day.
Yes, my thoughts are with the team and Thomas Tuchel. I fully trust them. A lot of Chelsea fans, a lot of them are scared. They think we don't have a chance. But, I'll tell you, you're wrong. Because if Chelsea turn up, the real Chelsea turn up, we have every chance to win this game. It depends on us. We have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. So, we're going to go for this game. And I'm sure they're going to give a performance. And I'm sure they will give everything they've got, these players. And, and that's the main thing. But, I'm very confident we can take it to extra time. At least take it to extra time and even penalties. I'll be all right. Be at the Bernabeu. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard, but it's there to be won. And we're Chelsea Football Club, champions of the world. Don't forget that.
Yeah, good comment there. And I want to say, okay, Thai Talks wanted to give away his spot to someone else, and he's asked me to find someone to take it. And because I've seen Chichi Eze participate in the giveaways on this channel and hasn't won any, I think for the 6th time now. So Chichi, I'm giving you the Thai Talks spot. So Chichi Eze takes the spots of Thai Talks, which means we have about 7 contestants now. So we have 1 spot left. So Chichi, you have an automatic qualification given the fact that Thai Talks cannot participate on camera for obvious reasons, the reasons he told me. So you taken Thai Talks spot, and if you cannot be on camera too, you can also transfer that spot to someone else. All we want to have is a fair contest here, very entertaining and very powerful, something that will be memorable, given that it has to do with a tribute to Roman Abramovich. Chichi Eze, respond if you can hear me so that it can be confirmed. You've taken, I think, what will be the 6th or the 7th spot. And with that, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat, from Steve Chelsea to Conan Flavio, and everybody else in the chat, Chichi Eze, Just Viola, one of the queens of the house, True Blue, and Glenn, if I don't mention your name, and Cronus, Dan, and also every other person in the chat. If I miss your name, I'm only human. Please accept my apologies. And I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to say thank you for Nick and DJ Saab, both of whom were on the panel with me. With that, I say thank you. God bless us all. And I hope to see you tomorrow for the pre-game show and also for the Blue Morning show for tomorrow. And yes, with that, I say bye to everyone that's found time to be part of this great discussion. See y'all all. Take care. Bye.